Hello, February. It is February the 1st. Where did January go? We are 1/12th all the way through. We're 1/12th the way through 2024. Welcome, gang. Welcome back. If you caught the pre-twip show with Spore and EVC, we are back. And as you can see, not only am I back, but if you see that banner, look who else. Look who else I dug up and found. Oh, yeah. Underneath all that snow in Philadelphia and just digging away, he had his own little under snow igloo there. He was trapped for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Where is Warbot? People asked. Where is he? Well, don't worry. He is back beginning of February, and we're here to do many, many, many things. The show may suck a little bit. Wink, wink, hint, hint. But hey, we're back for our first show of February. This is the HAWC Report number 44 with Warbot. Thank you, OOTP Developments and Dishnet and Spore for the raid. Over. Gang, are you ready? Are you ready to win some packs? Are you ready to participate in a bounty? Are you ready to play some trivia? Well, before all that, before I bring my guest of honor in, let's do a quick little early show giveaway. That's right. Exclamation enter, exclamation ticket. Get your name in there for 5 standard packs. And while we're waiting for some of those names to come in, let's bring them in. Welcome back after a few weeks off, Mr. and I'm calling him Mr. Warbot. There you are. How you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me. Hold on, I can totally change the name here. One sec. There we go.
I missed playing that for a few weeks, not because the Flyers aren't scoring any goals,
although they aren't,
because you're here, and I'm wondering, where is your Flyer winning streak beard?
Yeah, it turns out my Flyer winning streak beard is possibly not as long as your Oiler winning streak beard.
Yeah, that kind of,
you know,
someday, Charles, John, Mr. Tortorella, Torts will get the Flyers. But I think, are you still in a playoff spot, or did that 5-game losing streak take you out?
Think. Let me check. I think we're still clinging on, but it's gonna be tough. Got a goalie we can borrow?
But there is an All-Star break now, and that the draft, the NHL All-Star draft takes place tonight. That's how we do our All-Star games. We don't put them on East, West, North, South teams. No, we have captains, and they get to draft their players. So who will go number 1 overall to the Pacific League? We'll find out tonight. And then tomorrow night is a skills competition, and then the game goes on Saturday, and action resumes next Tuesday or Wednesday. But yeah, we are on our All-Star break right now. 2 Edmonton Oilers in the All-Star game, Mr. McDavid, Mr. Draisaitl. We got 4 Toronto Maple Leafs and like 6 Vancouver Canucks. So I like to call this not an All-Star game. I like to say Vancouver's playing Toronto. That's pretty much what it is. So Charles, did you have to do some shoveling?
We did, actually. Yeah, we got a bit of snow. I guess you must get more though, right? You must be used to this by now.
We're pretty snowless. Yep. We are almost like a Charles shave. We are without much snow here up in Canada. We did get a bunch a few weeks ago, but we've been above 0 for the last few days, so a lot of it is melting away. And there you go. Breaking news. The first EVC pop-up is full. So the one that fires off on Saturday is full. And I do a show on Saturday and probably going to be streaming some of that. And who knows, maybe we'll have a certain affiliate on covering some of that as it gets later into the tournament. But yeah, that one is full. There still is one more. The second EVC one is where are we at here? We've got 61 in that one already. So if you didn't get in the first one, that other one will probably be full within a couple hours. And there'll be more pop-ups coming. I've got a pop-up to announce later next week, and you guys are going to have some fun with that one, and some other ones coming your way too. Won't give you any spoilers right there, and there will not be.
Do you have a team in EVC pop-up?
What's that?
Do you have a team in EVC's pop-up?
I do. Yep. Bring it on, Charles. Bring it.
Well, I was going to say, if you want to do well, you should definitely not draft it on stream with me.
No, don't worry. Don't worry, Charles. That was the first thing
you weren't even considering it.
Not even considering. No. In fact, I'm not even drafting it on stream, because the way I draft on stream, it doesn't go very well. All right, let's go and give away that first pack. We got 69 entries. What is this? Nice. A Gabagoo Luigi stream? We got 69 entries. We're going to close it off in about 10 seconds here. Exclamation enter, exclamation ticket for your chance to win.
Spore is asking if we're going to do a bounty draft, because we do want to give him a chance to go get lunch, given that he had to kind of fill in for Dish there.
Yeah. Right after this, we're going to get you the bounty draft information, and hopefully I won't, throw a perfect game against Spore. Not that I haven't thrown a perfect game against Spore. I've thrown 4 perfect games in a row against Spore, but not one. Not just one. Not just one. Yeah, that was a fun draft. Spore and I have come across each other in the 4Ls quite a bit recently, and he's won and I've won, he's won, I've won. So yeah, we've got a little rivalry going on. All right, let's close this off. Our winner is My Mice Forever. I hate mice. I jump up on a table when there's mice, but we'll forgive you this time. My Mice Forever. If you can send me a quick little whisper, because I'm not familiar with your username, your perfect team username, and I'll send that name along. So My Mice Forever. Okay, we're going to close that giveaway off, and we'll do some more giveaways in a little bit. First of all, though, we're going to get on to the bounty, and maybe since Charles has been a while, maybe this timeout has helped us come together a little bit more, Charles, and a little bit more successful. So the bounty tournament, here it is. You'll see it underneath scrolling across. In fact, I won't make it scroll across. We'll put it up in big letters. The rules. Today is February the 1st, so pretty easy. Pretty easy. I don't want to tax you guys out too much. Since today is the first and odd number, all cards you draft must be an odd number.
Just to check, accept the perfect round, or do you have to bench your perfect player?
Accept the perfect round, of course. Yeah. So you get to keep your 100 or 200s. I'm not sure how many you have in that first round. So draft your ideal perfect, and after that, once we start with the diamonds, everyone must be an odd overall number. That's 1, 3, 5, and 7 for those of you that may not know what odd means. Okay, Charles, I've got a team ready to go. It is
well, you know what? I'm going to be generous. I'm going to give him 9 as well.
You're going to give him 9 too? Oh.
I'll also give him 9. Just because I'm a nice guy and I want to help him out.
See, time away does wonders for you, Warbot. Look how generous and compassionate you are.
Absolutely.
You're giving people 9. Well, I'm not going to be generous with you because the bounty's full right now. So that means we're on a 20-minute timer.
Oh boy.
All right. And
we never run into problems with the timer, right?
I know how you like to dilly-dally, especially when we're doing our strategy and two-way players. Okay, you're returning. You get to make our first pick.
All right, but I got a little bit of a problem, which is I can't see the bottom of the screen. There it goes. Wait, this dead ball to golden? Okay. No, I forgot how modern some of that is.
Dead ball to golden.
That's a rough round, isn't it?
Not really.
Wow.
Not really. There's one card that stands out.
You like O'Rourke or you like Cochran? What do you think?
I like me a little bit of Mickey. Get out the Mickey.
I just hate using a first round pick on a catcher who's gonna miss like a third of our games.
Well,
But yeah, all
why
right,
not
let's
have
go.
both? Have both. We got Jim O'Rourke who
Oh,
can catch.
but all right, we can go. We can go. I mean, yeah. Oh, O'Rourke can catch. That's true.
Yes,
And in that era, we don't care so much about the catcher ability.
we don't.
All right, what do you think? We'll let
No,
you.
don't throw it on me. When we lose, I'm going to blame you. Who do you want? I would say O'Rourke or Cochran. I would probably go O'Rourke because he's a little bit more versatile.
All right. Well, in that case, if you would go O'Rourke, we're definitely going O'Rourke because that way it's your pick.
What a silly pick. Jeez. Aparicio was the guy. Come on, premier shortstop and dead ball defense. Charles, you're losing it a little bit. Just kidding you. Okay.
All right.
Well, we've got two cards to choose from here. We got the 91 Cy Johnson and the 91 Roger Connor.
Well, that's too bad because I was going to say I really like Jesse Burkett.
You gave everyone 9, not 6. Don't blame me. You gave them 9.
That's true. All right. Can we change our mind and give them 6 instead?
No.
All right. I guess it's got to be Roger Connor, right? Cy Johnson's not that good.
Okay. Home run, John. We got
There
we
you
got
go.
Roger.
We got. See, you wanted your shortstop. There we go. We got our home run in here.
Okay, good.
Easy.
Slim Jones for sure. I'm taking one. You take the second.
I like Bill McCall. Yeah, we could do that. Got 2 lefty starters. That's not bad, right?
Yep. Stock up on your righty hitters there, folks. Okay, I'm going to go with well, nothing on the bottom row. So we got 3 to choose from. I'm going to go.
Well, I don't really want to play any of them.
Yeah,
but I at least want to play the Yankee.
Okay, I'm going to go to Maggio. Who are you going with?
Oh, I see how this is. I think we're probably benching both of them, right? Probably benching both of them.
A little bit of foreshadowing, Charles. Some foreshadowing.
It's true. Peters, I mean, I'm trying to figure out if either's. All right, Ray Blades at least has some eye, so let's go with Ray Blades.
All right, nothing on the top row.
This is a rough draft we got going here.
Yeah, I know. See, I don't make things easy for you folks because even GT Sundown said he had a poo-poo perfect round. Well, we kind of had a lousy perfect round too. All right, I'm going Dewey Decimal System.
Start.
You either got Sox or Ned.
That Sox from let me see. Now that's one of the older ones, right? We are getting some rough options here. It's probably still Sox because Ned's even tougher to play in this format. But wow, we're in some trouble here.
Okay, well, we're into the silver where it gets much, much better because we can't take anyone from the top.
Well, the good news is that Tom Williams is great. So let's go with Dots and Pinckney because they're the only 2 we're allowed to have.
That speeds things up.
You couldn't have said even.
Is today February 2nd? No. Tomorrow is February 2nd. We got 3. Do you want Hamburglar, Petty, or Lazzeri?
Wow. You're just getting this list of cards that, have been out for a long time and have like never been anywhere close to. Petty's okay. Petty might actually be our starter. The way this draft is going.
I'm hoping for a bronze guy, honestly. Okay. We're going. We don't want too many pitchers. We don't want
Lazeri's
this.
awful and only plays one position. Ham, on the other hand, has a 37 P BABIP and 57 control, which is exactly what you want in this era.
Tony. Tony. Charles,
yeah.
You need to face a challenge once in a while in your life. We all need to face challenges. Shake it off, young man. We will come through this in mediocre colors.
You know,
look,
occasionally the best team in the history of like sport loses 5 games in a row, right? These things happen.
Washington Capitals, 1973. Yeah. All right. Anything on the bottom row? I think we go Jim Brown.
Jim Brown's actually a legitimately good pick. We got one.
Yeah. Do we want both our catchers now in case we don't get another odd catcher?
We could, right? O'Rourke also catches. O'Rourke's probably going to end up being our catcher. Yeah.
All right. We got 4 outfielders already. We're going 2 catchers. Okay. Here come our starting pitchers.
We really should have gone even because like we've had mostly even cards here.
And a lot of good even players.
I'm going to suggest we take the 2 cards we're allowed to take this round.
And move on.
Yeah. Wow.
All right. Now we got a lot to choose from. I like
that.
Callio.
All right. We got some options here.
I'm taking Callio. Who else do you want?
I don't even love Callio in this era, but like, what do you think about Mort Cooper instead? Or are you thinking even taking both?
Well, we get 3. Three players this one. So I think Mort for sure. There's Jack Neighbors as well.
Yeah,
he's pretty much
Mort's probably the best of the pitching options. And then wow. These are just so many cards. Oh no, Glaviano's eligible, right? He's actually good.
Poncho with BABIP. Oh yeah, Glaviano. Yeah, we'll take Glaviano. We got 5 outfielders. I'm not taking Taffy or Andy. We can't take Andy. So it's either
we
Neighbors.
Take the pitcher anyway, even if.
Yeah.
All right, probably. I guess we take Callio or Neighbors then.
Let's compare these 2.
We're in some trouble here.
That's a mindset, Charles. Get out of that negative mindset and say, we've got a fantastic, we'll score at least 1 run, start small, and work your way up.
All right. We're going to think positive here. I am positive that this is a weak draft. Callio, I guess, right?
Yep. All right. We got 6 pitchers. We want at least 2 more.
How do we end up with all of these even players? Like Fogarty's pretty good. We have all these even options that are great.
Yeah.
Maybe
we'll get
Jimmy Slagle. Jimmy Slagle's actually a pretty good option here. He fits the era even.
Oh yeah, like we don't mind having 7 outfielders. Sure, go ahead.
Well, it just means we get to bench the Yankee.
Oh, true. Yeah. Okay, so nothing in the top row. It's either.
Oh wait, do we only have 3? No, we have 4 options available. So we got Pat Malone, I guess. It's probably the. Maybe even just both. Is Workman? I mean, Wool is not great. Malone's maybe a little.
Yeah, the 2 pitchers.
It's probably still the 2 pitchers because Workman's not going to give us much.
All right, last round. We got Little Stoner, Bob Perky. We got a lot. See?
Well,
look up. We've got a lot of choices
here. All right. Well, okay. So Klobuchar is great for this round.
Do it.
Klobuchar's is great. Yeah, Dowdit's great as well. 8 outfielders is even better than 7. No, but Dowdit, might actually start for us. And yeah, I think Dynamic MLB's right. The way this draft's going, we need a stoner.
Where's my card, dude? Okay. There's my card. All right, I found it.
Unless you see someone you like, but I think the way this draft is going, let's have a little fun with it.
This is like having forced to watch the movie Youngblood. By the way,
this is going to be rough.
This is going to be rough. Yeah, it is going to be rough. We're going to go 4-man rotation for now. Callio, you're in the pen. Jones, too bad he couldn't pitch every game.
I mean, the problem is normally I'd want to go like with a deep bullpen, but our pitching's actually pretty bad once you get past the first few.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure that works.
We run our starters, I think. Mort Cooper probably in for Petty. Maybe not.
You know what? Maybe we try the bullpen anyway, just, on the theory that if they're all going to be lousy, you might as well use all of them.
Okay. I'm just listening. I will click. You guide me. Just tell me what to do, Charles.
Let's start with the lineup because that's the one we got a better shot at. Let's see if we can at least make a lineup. Should we do that first? So what have we got here?
All right, we're going to work through this on the break coming up here, so we'll be back in 2 minutes.
Do we have any? Sorry. Do we have anyone other than Sox that can play right? I'm just looking.
Well, we got 8 outfielders. I hope so. Johnny Lazar, Duthit. He can play center.
Dowdit can play center.
DiMaggio can play right.
I mean, that DiMaggio is just hold on, but just look at DiMaggio's bat for a moment.
Do I have to?
Well, I think you have to if you want to consider actually playing that card anywhere. Look at this and remember that, it's an early era where the power doesn't even play. And tell me how that card is ever going to get on base.
Well, why did you pick him?
I didn't pick him.
We had 3 choices, Charles. 3.
All right. I think DiMaggio is sitting, though. So I think DiMaggio is not our center. I doubt it is going to be better if we have to do that.
Yeah.
So I think Dowdit is the center fielder over DiMaggio.
Piano probably in there somehow.
Just Slago only plays left, I guess. Does O'Rourke play right?
O'Rourke plays anywhere.
Okay, so maybe we let O'Rourke play right. So okay, let's just get our best players in the lineup here.
Okay, we've got both of them in. Connor and Johnson.
Connor can hit. Johnson can hit. Jim Brown's probably fine. O'Rourke maybe we can play right. Glaviano we want in the lineup somewhere. Let's get Glaviano in maybe at third. And let's get Slagle in there somewhere. So maybe Slagle in left.
Okay, we're taking out probably Dewey and
Sox is okay if he has to be, but
Yeah. Pinky, I guess we take out. Lawrence. He has to play first. Connor. Third.
I guess Connor's playing first, right?
No, Connor's playing third because Klobby can only play first.
Oh, but wait, isn't Connor is Connor a left-handed thrower? Because trying to put a left-handed thrower at third is not really gonna work in this game engine.
Well, we either have Roger in or Fred in. We can't have both.
All right, then I think Klobuchar's probably is just our backup. I think we need Connor at first. So let's get how about Connor at first, Glaviano at third. Yeah, Glaviano at third, and then we're at least getting. So we've at least got sort of most of our best hitters in the lineup now, right?
Sox, where are we going to put Sox? We need someone for second base.
Who do we have that plays second? Pinckney. Wait, Pinckney's playing second, right?
He's not in the lineup. We got Lazari on the bench, who's our third best BABIP guy.
Yeah, I think, but he's also an awful defensive second baseman. I think Pinckney's yeah. So let's put Pinckney at second, maybe
instead of Slagle or Sox.
Instead of Sox. Yeah, so Pinckney at second. So that at least gives us. All right, that at least gives us a lineup. Let's do it here. If you just go to the depth charts, if you go to like the depth chart versus right, you can, because you've only set it versus right. So if you go to the depth chart versus right, you can, yeah, give it a depth chart, and then you can just sort of copy. You can pretty much copy it over versus lefties, right?
Action copy depth chart.
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, then just paste it. Yeah, that works. Just paste depth chart. I think that should work. Yep, and then you can tell it to set the lineups if you want it to. I don't know if you did. You can tell it to set lineups. Just under action, tell it to set lineups like based on the depth charts, I mean.
Oh.
Or ask bench coach for all lineups, but just lineups, not depth chart.
Oh.
And then we could do the LaRussa thing if you want and hit the pitcher eighth.
Well, we're going to fire off pretty quick. We better do some fancy stuff before it fires. I don't think we have any two ways, right? We have no pitchers that we want hitting.
Hovedans is the only two-way, but we actually don't really want him pitching. We only want him hitting, ideally. So I think we're good.
Globerance set to.
Hovedans, yeah, he's just a first baseman, yeah. So he's actually not a two-way player. All right, and then for the pitching, we can try to run a bullpen, right?
Well, let's exit out and just kind of see where we're at here, because don't want to do all that and then we lose it all. Still in the sign up phase, so should be firing off soon. Did anyone have as bad a draft as we do? Are you guys all laughing pretty hard?
I think if anyone had as bad a draft as we did, it's because they forgot to finish the draft.
Yeah.
They still might.
What do you
they
want
still
to do
might
here?
beat us, actually.
Quick. What do we want to do?
All right. Let's, we have lefty starters and righty bullpen. Let's run a bullpen. Why not? So
Okay.
who are the bullpen pitchers we don't mind getting in the game? I guess Malone, Cooper.
Malone, Cooper.
Maybe. I guess.
Yeah.
And eventually Petty. All right. So those will be the four. So make one of them a stopper. Make Malone, let's say, long relief. Make Ula like the middle relief, use more often. We'll make Petty the same thing, and the others will just be middle relievers, I guess.
Well, Petty,
you're not going to be able to. Yeah, you're not going to be able to switch Petty until after it fires.
Yeah,
because you won't be able to make a two-man rotation. But we'll run two after, and then and then all our bullpen guys should now be like 9 batters faced max, I guess. Something like that.
Has this ever worked for us before, Charles?
Yeah, but to be fair, most of the times that we've tried to make it work before, we've, had a little better draft.
Yeah. This, other than maybe 3 players, this draft is...
You can absolutely nail the managerial side, and if you have no talent, you're still in trouble.
And if I would have went all even players, it would have been just as bad the other way.
Yeah, we definitely would have done better if we'd gone evens this time around, but you never know, right?
All right. Do we want our starters to go 18 or not?
Yeah, so we'll go starter and just make it 18 on Jones and McCall, because Petty we're gonna put in the pen.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it fires, we can just switch from 4 to 2, and we'll be good.
Yep.
Or at least as good as this is going to get. Yeah, so I think if you hit submit, you'll be able to you'll be able to wait for it to fire and then.
So the good news is Spore had to take 11 pitchers. So there are weaknesses out there in other teams. That's great. Good to see. EVC second.
But the question is, were Spore's other players actually, good?
Oh yeah, he got Babe Ruth, Adrian Beltre. He got even though Adrian Beltre is not from this era, he still got him anyway. He got
did he push the whole streamer button? Is that what happened?
He got the new Steven Strasburg. Yeah,
it's a good call.
Even got a card that's not out yet. That's how good a draft he had.
Oh, did he get it? Did he get the Tony Suck?
Who doesn't have the Tony Suck? And speaking of Tony Suck,
yes.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned later. Okay, it should be firing off. Let's see. It is fired off. There we go. So we're 14 minutes from firing. Let's see if it lets me in yet. So we can make those final changes.
And most importantly, we get to see who is beating us in the first round, because believe me, if you didn't draw us in the first round this draft, you are not in line for a bounty. I'm sorry.
Sequest, are you in the draft? Are you in the chat, Sequest? Are you here? Are you within listening range? Oh, Mr. Devil Dog. What's it going to take? What's it just between you and me? No one's listening. No one's listening. What's it going to take, to let us win this round? Because looking at your lineup, that's probably the only card you need.
Well, see, somebody took a shortstop in the first round. If only someone had told us to take a shortstop in the first round.
You see this lineup, Charles?
That looks like it has actually some talented hitters in it.
This looks like it could win the whole tournament. Let's take a look. Yeah. Let's make it official. Let's go to the Devil Dogs. Look at their ratings. Good. Everyone for pitching is all odd. And for hitting, other than they're perfect, they are compliant, Charles. So in the first round, it is the Terts up against Cavacom's Launch Pads. We've got the BD Brewers by G 2019. They're going up against Ezra's Red Shirts. We got the Frackers by Yellow Jacket going up against Fire and Oars Blue Hornets. The Diablos by Angel Lagerloso. They're going up against Fussmucker's Devils. We have the Devil Dogs going up against us. The Boise Tater Mashers, Don't Throw My Win, going up against the Sputters from Dogberry. We got the Rainiers and Lord Christic against Sean Soul's Park Rangers. And Spore and Tessuigi meet up once again. They seem to meet up a lot too. Just like I meet up with Spore, they meet up a lot. So, going to be some good first round matches. I am going to check quickly the Boise and Sputters just to make sure they're compliant, because when we win, we have to play one of these two. Okay. Boise is
what?
good.
Is that next week or 2 weeks from now?
2 hours from now. And who's the other one? The Sputters.
Oh, remember to change our pitching now that it fired.
Oh, yes. We got 11 minutes. Lots of time. Okay.
Oh, that's true.
So
we never run out of time on this stream.
They're very good. Yeah. Endless. Forever. Okay, let's go check the batters. Their pitchers are compliant. The Mashers got Charlie Smith, and they got Home Run Johnson. Ours is better, though. We got the good Home Run Johnson. Everyone went for Enos Slaughter. Johnny Dickshot they got. We didn't even get a chance.
We didn't even get a Johnny Dickshot.
No. Okay, and the Sputters. Let's check them. They got this guy. I don't know. Never heard of him. Is he any good?
Might be.
Everyone's taking shortstop. See? Louis Aparicio should have been our first pick. We would have fit in with the cool kids.
True.
And otherwise, they're compliant. So the 4 teams we might come across in these first couple rounds are all compliant. And if we get to the semis, well, we're going for a drink after, Charles. Because
if we get to the semis, then some people are throwing some games here.
Charles is buying a round of your favorite soda pop if we get to the semifinals. Okay, we'll let that go for a little bit. Okay. All right, do you have snow in Denmark right now?
Not in Denmark. It had some in the Northeast before flying out. Oh, remember to change our pitching.
Yes. Which one is it? Dead ball to golden. You think it's going to make a difference?
Look, we might actually get to a game 3. So you might as well have, might as well be set up for a game 3, right? Stranger things have happened.
Is he going middle relief? Are we having 2 middle relief used more often or 2 long relief?
Yeah, I think make a middle relief used more often and then maybe a backup and then maybe a second thing for long relief. Because we at least this way we get lefty starters and then we get like righty bullpen arms coming in and of course everyone's got deep benches because it's an early era, so this doesn't help, but we do the best we can.
Hey, Devil Dog, can you handle our 2 lefties? Hey, have you got the hitters to take on those 2 lefties now that you've seen our tricks that we have? Welcome, everyone. This is Out of the Park Developments. If you're new to the game, it's that this is your first day watching a stream. I apologize. We're doing our best. And you can go to the launch site and check out Out of the Park Developments, where you can pick up the game if you don't have it yet. You can check out the hockey version of the game, FHM 10, which was released in November, I believe. And you can download OOTP Go, where you get a free Perfect Team account that you can start collecting the cards and using them to start up in league or tournament play. Plus, the forum is on there. Podcasts are on there. Everything you need to know right on the site here. And spotlight packs, let's take a quick peek. If
spotlights look like they're up, but I still don't see the missions. I don't know if they're okay. I heard the missions were up, I think, but I don't see them yet.
All right, so a little bit about the spotlight packs. We have 5, 6, 7, 8 perfect cards in the spotlight pack, including Andrew Jones, Archie Vaughn, Joe Mauer, Adrian Beltre back in there, Felix Bautista, Pete Fairbanks, Edgar Wesley, and Andy Cooper. So probably pretty close to last week. We've got NEL 5, PT Elite 4, Hall of Fame or Future Legends 4, and only 18,000. I would think, Charles, 18,000 for a chance at some of those perfects. I don't know what the return of ROI is on that, but I would think 18,000 seems fairly reasonable to get a Mauer, Jones. There's only
I'm gonna guess that the EV on that's probably 11 or 12, but that depends on the missions. So if the Strasburg mission ends up being really tight, then it'll probably be worth a little more. And until I see the mission, I would be tough to tell. Right. But the price of a lot of those cards really went down pretty quickly in the last few days.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll wait on those missions, and spotlights are apparently live, you said, Charles?
Spotlights, I'm seeing the spotlights, but I'm not seeing the missions. But I think in chat, some other people are saying they are seeing the missions.
Okay.
So
they may be there or they may not be there.
Yeah,
No one has missions. Cage Wisdom says no one has missions. JC Jam says he just got them. Otherwise, yeah. EVC says no missions, but we'll wait. No panic. Let's talk about a few of the cards here. Charles, did you download the card base yet?
I did, so I can take a look at some cards. Let me see.
All right, we're gonna look at the cards that were not shown on stream. So we're gonna go from highest overall rated to the lowest ones are the ones that were not shown on. And then we'll come back to some of those other ones a little bit later. And again, trivia coming up later too. So if you want to play some baseball trivia, we got a pretty cool theme today, giving you a few spoilers earlier on. So let's go and take a look at some of these cards.
We definitely have the best theme we've ever had.
Oh, I think it kind of sucks, but we'll let the audience decide. Okay. So we've got all the cards today, 22 cards were silver or higher, no iron, no bronze this week. And the ones shown off screen or not shown on screen were some of the gold and silver. So again, I'm just going to go from 89 down to the lowest silver.
I'm just going to try what people told me. I'll try restarting the game just because that way, if one of us can get the missions up, we'll at least be able to kind of show people on stream what they look like.
Okay. Yep. You try it on your end. I'll
see if you can find them.
Try
just
it
so we
on
can
my
kind
end.
of show people that are still trying to load it, kind of what they need.
All right, bear with us as we see if we can get these missions going.
But anyway, yeah, I'm trying to reload, but in the meantime, Jacob Wilson, that was not one of the ones shown on stream, right? That's what we're starting with?
Yeah, we're starting with, I don't think mine is showing yet, but I didn't restart the game. I just went into my perfect league.
Okay. I did restart the game. I'm still not seeing him.
All right. Well,
All
maybe
right. Well, maybe we'll come back to this in a little bit then.
Yeah, we'll come back to it. Okay. Let's look at some of these cards. Gold. I do play gold. I'm familiar with a lot of the better gold players, but again, I'm more iron bronze focused right now with my tournament play. So I might have slipped a little bit in gold. Jacob Wilson, though, he's got. I know he's not your player. I know it's kind of anti-Charles. No power.
Bit.
You like the big bats. You've said that before. You like the eye.
I do like big bats. I definitely like the big bats. Can't disagree there. Nope, not gonna lie.
But I think if I'm playing in a Babbitt park or I'm playing in a park that is going to give up a lot of hits, I think I'm putting this guy on my roster, on my gold roster. In fact, I'm calling it now. I'm going to look for a Jacob Wilson and put him on my roster, even though he's got low power and eye. Prove me wrong, Charles.
You can't put a card with low power and eye on your roster.
Stop me. I dare you. Come over from Denmark and stop me. He's going on my roster. But again, shortstop in gold, there is a lot of competition, to be fair. There are a lot of,
I think there's a different issue with the card, though, which is that this isn't really a good defensive shortstop.
I wouldn't play him at short. I would play him at third.
So I think if he's only got kind of that 78 range, I don't think you're going to want to play him at short. But as soon as you start thinking about playing him at third, now he's going to be up against cards that have the same kind of big BABIP, but also have other features. Like Harry Ford, for example, has a similar kind of big BABIP, but also has mid to high 90s eye and has some more power, plus plays some other positions. Or Neil Robinson, again, similarly, so this card is gonna get more singles, and maybe that's enough, but I think I'd rather play a card like Ford or Robinson.
How about at second base? What's the competition at second base?
I think the problem at second, again, is just the glove isn't good enough. So I think that's kind of where I'd get stuck.
Okay. I'm going to try him out. I'm going to try and get this card and put him on my gold roster, my quicks, and kind of see what he does. I like that BABIP. I like the gap power. I like the avoid K.
Mark is saying he is seeing missions. I'm just reading. So he's saying he is seeing missions.
But he can't see Strasburg. Yeah. Glove schmov. Exactly, Coach Ruffy. I'm playing him either at second or at third. Probably more at third. maybe DH. And I know there's Frank Thomas and guys like that. I know, but I want to kind of get away from Power and I a little bit and try some of these BABIP cards and see how they
Get
do.
away from Power and I. What have we taught you?
Nothing. Absolutely. It's a new month, Charles. You've been on vacation and I've lost my mind. All right, here we go. I'm not going to try and pronounce this. Mr. Roby, starting pitcher. A lot of stuff. Balanced. So he's not, he's not either home run or pitcher BABIP. He's got all, including control, everything over 80 here. Stamina, maybe the biggest, big weakness at 69. Might only go 6 innings or so. So where do you place this amongst and this is a righty, and we see a lot of lefties in gold.
Yeah, I just think the pitcher BABIP and stuff mean that he's a decent amount behind. I think this is one of these things that sort of Sporer was mentioning as well, that when the game engine sort of is calculating overall ratings for cards, it just seems to overvalue stuff. And so a lot of these high stuff cards, I think if this is an 86, I think it's really tough to make this card play. If you were to kind of knock that down a bit, low 80s, you'd sort of be closer. But I think as a full gold, I think this is probably just too far behind, just because the game engine really likes stuff is part of overall ratings.
So who's a right-handed pitcher that you play instead of Roby?
Well, we could pull up maybe the Johnny Cueto that just came out. That's one I would definitely play. Let me see if I can.
See if you can get him up on your shared screen there. Let's show the Johnny Cueto.
Because I just realized that I should probably buy this card.
Jeez. Charles multitasking.
No, it's fine. I'm mostly out of points anyway because of a different bug over the past few weeks. So.
Oh. All right, there we go.
There we go.
So here's a righty
Cueto as an example. So I think this is a righty, and I think you're just sort of getting a lot more of everything. The stuff is still reasonably high, but you're just look at all of the other ratings that you get in return for 20 points of stuff.
Stamina's higher.
Stamina's higher, but also the pitcher BABIP's a lot higher. Even like these other side ratings are you're just getting a lot more.
Yeah. And give me one more righty that you might use instead, because again, it's been lefty dominant in gold. Starting to see some righties come in now in play.
Sure. So there are still some of the ones that have been out for a few weeks, like the Jose LeBlanc. Again, it's a little bit lower stuff. You're getting so much more of everything else that it's still a good trade. Or the Johnny Wright, sort of same kind of idea, right? Just as much as stuff is kind of one rating that's useful. You're trading 30 or 40 points of stuff with Johnny Wright for all these other ratings, and those other ratings are just worth a lot more than 30 or 40 points of stuff.
Okay.
The one that'll be interesting, and I think I would play this over that card as well, but as a more interesting decision is the Steve Klein, who has completely the opposite shape. Ooh. So this is completely the opposite kind of card. And you want a good defense behind him.
Is he bullpen? Has he got 2 good pitches there? Can you scroll down a bit?
Well, he has 5 pitches. None of them is really a good pitch, right? Get a little boost out of the pen, but if you have a good defense behind him, I think I would try playing a card with this shape as well, just because you get so much of everything else. But that one's not as clear. I think LeBlanc and Wright, I think it's just sort of more clear, or Cueto, it's sort of more clear that they just have a lot more on the card.
Okay, for new players, Charles, here's a teachable moment. For new players out there that have just been in the game for a week or a couple weeks, and they're looking at all these colors and all these numbers there on the back of the card. We've always said, Charles has always said, don't look at the rating on the front of the card. Ignore the 83 on this card rating. Just ignore it. Don't worry about that. Because as the game progresses, power creep comes in and players, get better over time on the back of the card. forget that. That's important for caps. It's important for specific tournaments. But look at the back of the card. If you were to say to a new player of stuff, home run suppression, pitcher BABIP control in a neutral, modern environment, which is the least important? They're all important, but which one are you going to sacrifice the most?
I think that depends a little bit on the shape of the card, but usually stuff is the one I'm going to sacrifice.
Okay.
But roughly speaking, what you're asking is, which would I rather kind of give up? Would I rather give up the ability to strike people out? Would I rather walk more of them? Would I rather give up more home runs? Would I rather give up more hits? And if it's anywhere, it's not quite a one-for-one thing. That is to say, 1 point of stuff, is not the same number of strikeouts as 1 point of control is walks. But if you think about making that trade, of those, the truth is a lot of balls in play end up as outs anyway. So of the various things, kind of, not getting a strikeout is not as damaging as, giving up a hit, which is always a base runner, giving up a walk, which is always a base runner, giving up a home run, which is always, runs.
But and then on the opposite end, in terms of most important, I think, are you still on the pitcher BABIP is the one you want to sacrifice the least?
I think so. And the reason for that is, so if you just think about the way I just framed it, the answer is the thing you want to sacrifice the least is home runs, because home runs are the most damaging. The reason that pitcher BABIP ends up being the most important is simply because the number of hits you get for a point of pitcher BABIP is kind of more valuable than the number of home runs you prevent for a point of home run prevention, if that kind of makes sense.
I was going to say, I mean, people are loading up on power and eye. You're like, power eye, power eye, power eye. Well, if people are loading up on power and eye, don't you want home run suppression to be your most important to prevent the power?
You want home run prevention to prevent the power. You want control to prevent the eye.
The walks, yeah.
But at the same time, it just turns out that kind of like point for point, the most efficient rating is pitcher BABIP, that preventing hits turns out to be really efficient. Because preventing hits also kind of helps with everything else. If you give up a bunch of walks, but your infielders are great at fielding ground balls, then you're going to turn some double plays. And if you're kind of keeping runners off the base paths, then at least those are solo home runs and things like that. So just kind of point for point, pitcher BABIP turns out to be really efficient the way the game engine is put together right now.
All right, let's go off a couple more cards here, and then we'll check in on the bounty and see how the first game or two has gone.
Do we have to check in on the bounty?
It's part of our contract. Part of my contract, because I'm streaming here, so it's part of my contract. Now, again, Spencer Schwellenbach.
Yes, yeah, Spencer Schwellenbach. All right.
Two-way player. Again, we're not really concerned about his bat. More so with the pitch. I guess if you're in a no-weight DH league, the bat comes into handy a bit. So here's a case where it's got higher home run suppression than the last guy we looked at, Roby. Got better pitcher BABIP. No, about the same pitcher BABIP. Very splitty. I'm guessing this, if you use him, it's going to be in the bullpen.
Yeah, well, I think you've got the same problem, that just there isn't enough on the pitching card to really want to use this as a pitcher. And being a two-way player can be nice, but what you're always asking, remember, anytime you want to use a two-way player, he'd better be a better pitcher than your weakest pitcher and a better hitter than your weakest hitter. If those two things aren't both true, he's really not a two-way player. He's just a one-way player that happens to have some extra ratings on the card. And I think the problem is, if you look at the bat, it's a really good bat for a pitcher. But at this point in the game, that's not a good bat for sort of an iron hitter. It's definitely not a good bat for a bronze hitter. But even if you look at some of the iron hitters that have come out, this wouldn't be like the best iron bat. This would kind of be, in the running.
Can you bring up the Micah Owings? Because I think that was a gold player, right? That was a two-way player. And let's kind of take a look at what his bat was. I guess it doesn't show his bat there, does it?
Or here, it shows the bat on the right. Or actually, I have the card, so I can.
Okay.
I can pull up the card. Where is it? I think I can pull up the card. Here it is.
So bat's better than the Wallenbeck that we're looking at.
It's better, and because it's splitty, it's actually quite a bit better in that you could potentially platoon Owings. So you're at least kind of using him on one side.
Right.
So yeah, it's more of a real bat, but also this is a card where when it came out, people were thinking about using it as a two-way card. But it came out what, 5 months ago or something around there. And just with power creep, cards have gotten a lot better since then.
Yeah. Well, okay. So if there is, I don't know if there's a low gold. I don't think there's a low gold tournament, but let's say there is a low gold tournament. Who are you using as a low gold relief pitcher if you're not using a card like Schwallenbach?
Well, actually, I think a lot of the low gold relievers are even the ones you're using in full gold right now. Tyler Holton's really good. Glenn Perkins, Stu Miller is still good. George Sherrill, Jim Johnson, Steve Howe, Brad Hand. There's actually a really solid bullpen available as is, so you don't have to convert starters, I think.
Okay. And then our 80, I think we got an 80, and then it's the silver. So this one again wasn't shown on stream today. And don't forget, DishNet doing a live broadcast tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Had some tech difficulties, and Spora came out of the bullpen in relief. And Dish is going to do the second version tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you missed your drops, check out Dish tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. So here in a cap tournament, you're not paying anything for this. Catcher, first baseman. I think low catcher rate now is Grandal is what, an 87?
He's 87.
Yeah.
So until 2 days ago, I would have been a lot more excited about this card, because one of the problems that managers have faced is that the exactly 80 overall catchers have been really weak. And so you're often paying a point for a backup catcher because the 81s are so much better than the 80s. And this is a card that would be an upgrade on the 80s that we had. But we just got this Mike Scioscia. Let me see if I can. It's because I don't own the card. That's why I wasn't pulling it up. But we just got this Mike Scioscia as an 80 overall catcher that, especially in modern formats, I'd much rather play because he has this big catcher ability. And so this is a card that's the card that we're looking at here is kind of in a funny position where he's got a big bat for a catcher, but a poor glove. And that kind of puts him in a weird spot with the game engine, because usually what you want to do with your low glove catchers is you say, I'm going to get really interested in this in an early era where the catcher ability isn't as important because getting some extra strikeouts doesn't help me so much. But the problem is that this card in an early era is now going to lose a lot of this power as well. So I guess the question would be, is there some like middle ground for maybe a tournament in the 30s or 40s where power still plays a bit, but you don't care about catcher ability? I'm not sure whether there's like a middle ground to play him, but I think in a modern era, I'd much rather play a card like Scioscia. And in a very early era, I might again want to play Scioscia because even though the glove doesn't play that much, he's also got 105 I and 68 BABIP, and that's probably going to be a little bit stronger combination with a bat. But there's some intermediate where this is now the better bat, and so maybe there's something in the middle where this is the 80 overall you'd want to play.
All right, excellent, good. Let's check in on the bounty before we take a look at some silver. We're gonna next break's in about 10 minutes, and then after that we're gonna start our trivia. So stay tuned. Trivia coming up in about 10 minutes or so. So
do we have to check it on the bounty?
2 games in the bounty are done. How many of those first 2 games do you think we won?
Well, we kept talking about odd numbers. I'm going to say it was an even number.
Okay. Let me ask you this. How many runs do you think we scored in those two games?
Well, I already like that you're saying runs. Right?
It could be singular. It could be.
Yeah. I already like that you're saying runs, so that's that's a good sign. You know what? I'm gonna say we got a couple runs in there. I'm gonna say we got 4 or 5 runs. Let's go with that.
Okay, game 1, the Devil Dogs win game 1 by a score of 11-9.
Hey, we scored some runs. The pitching
9.
maybe not so good.
Usually 9 runs is enough to win. John Beckwith, player of the game there, and then in game 2, we got beat 7-1, which is a little bit more realistic.
All right. Well, first off, congrats to the Devil Dogs. Well played, and congrats on the packs. We'll get you next week because we can't have a rougher draft than we did this week.
Don't lie, Charles. Don't fulfill promises. Don't cash those checks you can't cash, or whatever that phrase is. Don't write checks you can't cash. Don't say we'll get you next week. You know we won't get.
Okay. I guarantee you can take this to the bank. We will be more competitive next week.
We got
I think
10
we
runs.
can promise
That's
that
10 runs is competitive, Charles. Congratulations, Devil Dog. I think your username is very similar, so I'll be able to find that. And send you those 5 packs. So today we awarded 5 packs to.
Oh, hold on, wait. Tasweeji's saying, does he have an even player on the roster? Is that what Tasweeji was saying?
I thought we checked it. I don't think so.
I thought we checked it, but
I think Devil Dogs is good.
I thought he was.
Everyone
all
is
right, we can
odd
double
here.
check.
Everyone's odd there. I think Tasweej is just throwing some shade, I think, because we checked this. He's got the perfect. Well, everyone's allowed the perfect.
Oh, no. Okay, hold on. Mike Krivich is 66 overall.
Oh,
did he actually play? Did he actually play against us?
Yes, he did.
Oh, he did play against us.
Oh, good eye.
Oh,
you know
and
how
he did
Charles
have,
likes
3
eye.
hits in that 11-9. All right.
Yeah. Good eye there, Tessuigi. Yeah, we missed that. I thought that might have been a case where on the card it said 65, but no, that was a good call. So unfortunately, Devil Dog, we can't award you the 5 packs. We take that back. And even though we don't win, Devil Dog, you become the bounty now. You are the bounty. So if anyone comes up against Devil Dog and beats them, they will get the 5 packs. And right now, 1-1 between the Mashers and the Spudders. Too bad. Oh, man. I know I've made mistakes in drafts before, and we both missed it when we were looking at it earlier.
We did, yeah.
Yeah. All right. It happens. No problem, Devil Dog. It happens. Okay, so we'll come back to that later because Devil Dog has a target on his back right now. And we'll see how it goes. Okay, back to where we left off. Let's do a couple silver cards. I don't play silver. I'm going to defer to you for silver cards. I know Minerva's in the chat. I think even Cavacom runs silver. There's a few silver players out there. So this one, 79, Owen Casey. I'm guessing it's Casey.
It could be Casey, yeah. If only there were a Cubs fan in the chat.
Yeah, if only there were a Cub fan that could correct us. Where can we hire a Cub fan? So this one against the righties, is this going to be something you play in silver, or is silver just too stacked right now, especially in the last couple of weeks with all the treasure trove silvers that have come out? Any place in the corner outfield for Casey?
I love the bat versus righties, so I'd like to find a way to get that in the lineup somewhere. I guess the big question is, are you willing to try to play him in right, where the defense, actually doesn't look bad, but would be, a fair bit behind like a Paul O'Neill or something like that? Or do you think he has to play left where again, there are some decent defenders? But I definitely want to try to find a way to get him in the, somewhere in the lineup. This is the biggest bat I see for an outfielder, so I'm definitely going to try to find somewhere to put him. The funny thing is my model actually just wants to play the better defensive cards. So my model kind of wants to play like Hicks and O'Neill in the corners versus righties and not to play this card. But I think the bat's so big that I'm going to try to find a way to get him in the lineup somewhere. I'm just not quite sure whether it's left or right. The one thing I'm certain of is I'm not going to let him play center with that range. I think it's got to be a corner.
Yeah. Dogberry, split the difference and run him in center. Probably not the best choice. Yeah.
Center's a little tougher. So yeah, I think
Canadian. All right. A Canadian. He's not the first Canadian to play for the Cubs. Of course, Fergie Jenkins played for the Cubs back in the day.
Oh, okay. Well, if he's Canadian, you got to tell me how to pronounce the name.
Catsy. A. See the E at the end? You say A. Catsy. Catsy. There you go.
There you go.
Okay. So good. A viable card that Tesuiji said. So it looks like the new cards that came out are available in the EVC draft. Of course, starts with a C at the end of his beginning of his last name. So if you drafted your team for the EVC draft before TWIPT, you may have lost out on some of these cards. Maybe even Strasburg, which wouldn't be there because he's not an E, a V, or a C. So you didn't miss out on him. All right, I like it. We've got a Canadian that we can put into our silver lineups. Catsy, yeah, Catsy. And Razor said he just pulled him. Synchronicity, take a drink.
JDA is saying it is pronounced Casey, apparently, is what JDA is saying. So,
well, he's Canadian. He'll appreciate the KCA. It's probably not French Canadian, though. Okay, Kansas City Royals. A lot of Kansas City Royal cards have come out lately. A lot of good Kansas City Royals cards have come out at the lower levels. Here again, you said stuff is something you're focusing on the least. Again, we're in silver now.
Yeah, so actually, I remember there was a Frank Mazzucato, I want to say 2 cycles ago now, that was just this excellent card that came out, I want to say late in the cycle, but, was kind of like the key card to run for a while in a few of these tournaments. So this one's at least a little nicer because he doesn't just have stuff, he also has Pitcher Babbitt.
Yes.
And so I think this is a good example of one where if you had to make this card a low gold, I think he's completely unplayable. But as a silver, it's closer. So I still have him around 8th in my model, which means, I'm not quite going to end up wanting to run him. But he's close enough that if you had a build where you really wanted a left-handed starter, like if you wanted to find 5 left-handed starters or something, or there was some other reason that you wanted a lefty, I think he's close enough that, that you might find him in a build. Like I said, I've got him 8th, which is, close, but not quite in my top 5.
All right, Devil Dog. Who did you pull as your double perfect? And did you get a Krevovich card in there as well? Just wondering. Just wondering. All right. Double perfect. That doesn't happen very often. I've seen it happen more in perfect packs where you open and you get a second perfect, but in a standard pack or spotlight pack, rarely have I seen the double perfect. So congratulations. Okay. So 2 cards not shown on screen, have some playability. Casey there.
Hopefully you got a historical in there.
Yeah. Oh, 2 live cards. Diaz and Acuna.
See, that somehow feels worse, like you get all excited because you see the 2 perfects and then they're both lives.
40,000 perfect points, baby. 40,000. All right, let's go to another Kansas City Royal. No, let's give the Brewers some love. Low silver. Now, the power's not there. Your big bat's not there. He's got a small bat, but he's got a big eye.
He does. He has a big eye, and he's gonna get on base. So this is one that I think Izadafo and I are going to end up disagreeing on, because he's got a really big bat for a third baseman. I don't want to play him at third because of the defense. I really don't want to play him at second because of the defense. And the bat's not big enough to play like in first or left, because then you're dealing with like the really big bats. I'm pretty sure Izadafo is going to look at this card and say, sure, the defense is good enough to play him at third base. If you think the defense is good enough to play him at third, I think this is going to be a solid card that you're going to want to play at third.
Who are you playing in low silver right now at third against the righties?
You know what? Actually, I bet Izadafo is going to talk me into playing this card against righties. I bet that's what's going to happen. Is I think I am going to end up getting talked into playing this card against righties.
I'm trying to talk you into playing this card against righties. Minerva, get this card against righties. Laptop seal of approval. And Charles is coming on board.
But it is going to come down to the defense. Because I do think looking at that defense, if there's anywhere you play him, it's got to be at third base. And so you have to be willing to do sort of play that defense in order to run him. So that's going to be the decision you're making.
And you know what? Through our torture in bounty drafts, people are just pulling the good cards, double perfects. We've got a Canerco pulled by Dark Horse, the number 4. So 4 of 100 have been pulled already this morning. Wow. Cava says, well, Cava wants power with his relief pitcher too. Like Cava just wants power everywhere. He's on board with you. Power and I, especially power. He's still using Dave Kingman in perfect. Maybe. I don't know.
Look,
I don't know, Cava.
I want the guy to get on base. Singles are also ways of getting on base, right?
So, okay, missions. You got a mission update? Are they? Can you find anything with missions?
But you know, Vic Power is eligible at third base.
Oh,
here you go. I can show you. So I've now got missions, so I can kind of show you what they look like. Although I'm a little bit puzzled. Because I thought Strasburg was a mission card, the way he's labeled. But I don't actually see Strasburg as the reward for any of these missions.
Is it embedded with something else there?
No, it looks like these are all pack missions. And then there's like a Future Legends complete, and what that's getting you is this rainbow pack.
Do a search for Strasburg and just see if under his card it shows the mission that he's part of. Not that one.
Okay, so no, the Topps Dream Bracket Strasburg is part of the number 1 picks and part of this Nats set. But that's the top Strasburg. That just is one of the cards you can use to finish it.
Do a favor, Charles. Look in the card shop for me for Strasburg, because usually it shows the missions there that they're part of.
But he's not in a mission. I thought he was a mission reward.
Yeah, so he's not currently in a mission.
He's
so they
not listed as a. Well, he's not in a mission, but I think he was supposed to be a reward. But I'm not seeing a mission that he's the reward for.
Yeah. All right. Well, it'll get fixed. Don't worry, folks out there. You're looking for your Strasburg. Hang on. He'll be put in a mission at some point, and maybe it's for completing all of those where it says Future Legends complete with the rainbow pack. Maybe he's added with that. I don't know, but it'll get fixed.
Okay. Well, you know, so you might want to wait to complete a few of these then, even if you've got the cards, just to see if they update something.
Yeah, I would not want to submit them quite yet, just in case they add it to an existing one or change it around a little bit. Okay, we are coming up on a break, and guess what's next?
You know what? Just pretend that you're getting him as the mission topper, but he starts out on the DL.
In the meantime, just put in Ben Sheets. He's just as good. All right, guys, break coming up, and then we're going to have some trivia that really sucks. Believe me, it sucks. Okay, back in 2 minutes' time.
Sounds good.
and look at some of the cards from Out of the Park Baseball today with the Future Legends finale. And yes, trivia starting up in just a minute or so. I'm just loading it up right now. And of course, you can check out tonight Dishnet coming back on with a live show, and he'll go over the cards. Spore went over them this morning. Dish is going to come back for the second show tonight. Okay, we've given you some hints about the theme. Future Legends kind of applies, right, Charles, to the theme? Kind of.
Yeah, definitely. You know, yeah. There may be some upcoming things to anticipate. Yeah, that's a future legend, sort of, right?
Yeah. So while we're getting the instructions on the screen, if you're new to our trivia, you need to connect your Twitch username to the trivia quiz kit. Charles, once again, tell them how they do that.
Real easy. If you haven't done it before, just mouse over on the right side of the screen. There'll be something that pops up and says Quiz Kit. Just click on that, go to Manage Access, give it permission to see your username, and that way we get to see how you did and you can win some packs.
There you go.
Real
so
easy.
The instructions should be on the screen right now, and we're going to get started.
And we are going to start with the easiest question I've ever given in trivia. So you've got to be ready for that one. Quick, as usual, the quicker you answer it, the more points it's worth if you get it right. The more points you lose if you get it wrong. What are we doing? Are we doing top two? Or are we doing top and bottom? How do you want to do it?
You know what? Because this quiz really sucks, we got to give one to the bottom and the top. We should almost give it to the two bottom ones because it really sucks. But no, we'll reward the best and the worst. All right, you ready, Charles? I've added a question at the end, so there are 16 questions.
Okay.
We'll take a break halfway through and look at some of the other cards that were presented on the screen today. And the quicker you ring in, the more points you get if you're right, the more points you lose if you're wrong. You can take a 0 and it'll give you 0 points. You're still in it. And you got 20 seconds to answer.
All right. Everyone better get the first question right.
Okay. Fire away.
All right. Are we ready? Here we go. Which of these players has eligibility at catcher, shortstop, and center field and would be a great addition to PT24?
Is it Dave Stieb, Orion Kirkering, Tony Suck, or another obscure Tiger? Wow. I would probably take a 0 on this one because I don't want to chance it.
It is a tough one.
Could you imagine an Orion and Tony Suck battery? Woo, dangerous. That might be something.
We're not getting a PT Elite card for him, you don't think?
Probably not. Not this year. Maybe next year. All right, answers are in, and I think a lot of people.
I really hope chat did well on this one.
Well, you guys don't suck because 22 people got this one right. So I think we have a lot going for first place. Here's a memory for you, Charles. Who was the quickest to get this one right? Who will go into the Hall of Fame?
Please tell me it was Spore.
Spore was third. It was Rob Deere and Headlights who answered quicker than any other question has been answered correctly before. So he knows his Tony Suck. Congratulations, Rob. You know your Tony Suck. I give you a lot of credit, man. Okay, question 2.
Let's rip through contestants who don't have your name popping up, just go to Quiz Kit on the right, click it, go to Manage Access, and give it permission so that we can see your username and you can win packs if you do well.
Okay.
All right. Speaking of, which of these 19th century players had the lowest career OPS plus?
Was it Bart Kentz, Herman Pitts, Bill Goodenough, or Tony Suck? The lowest career OPS plus. You threw a red herring in there, didn't you?
I thought it was good enough.
Kava, you you've caught on to how low Charles will go, how low he'll stoop to get his Tony Suck card. I cannot confirm nor deny his motivation. Although I do like all the names. And Charles, you stumped everyone on this one.
Wow, we stumped everyone.
Everyone was thinking every answer would be Tony Suck, I bet. Nope. Zero.
I don't think we've had a Bart Kantz in the game either, though. So
that'd be quite the combination. Can't suck, right? Yeah. How can you lose? You got the can't suck combination.
No dog. I'm afraid that actually none of those names was made up. These are all 19th century players.
And Rob Deere in Headlights is playing games with us. He was the quickest to get it right first question, and he had the worst score on the second question. I don't know.
It's going to be a good one today. I can tell.
But the good news is a lot of people connected their account. So I don't see any, currently there are no contestants being listed. Okay, question 3.
And yeah, see Spore. So we got some extra ones for you. Now you got a Bart Kantz that we can get in the game too. All right. Speaking of Tony Suck, which of these players joined Tony Suck on the Springfield of Dreams, The Legend of Homer Simpson mockumentary, which did feature Tony Suck?
Did it really?
It did.
He was on the episode?
He was in the mockumentary they did.
So if I have a Simpsons theme team, I can legit run Tony Suck?
You legitimately can run Tony Suck on your Simpsons theme team. That is correct.
Wow. Come on, Spore. Make it happen, at least for next version of the game. Bring them out on April. In April, the beginning of April, there's a certain day. Wink, wink. Along with Steve, Chicago White Sox.
All right. Is that the last one we need for Rainbow Steve?
Gold, I think. Oh no, there's no iron either. There's diamond, perfect, bronze, silver. Yeah, there's a couple missing. But you can't give Dave Steve an iron. Well, maybe his White Sox version. All right, 4 people were able to guess Kirk Gibson on that one. So that was his teammate, huh? Kirk Gibson on The Simpsons?
No, it wasn't his teammate, but they both appeared in the sort of this mock documentary they did about the Simpson, about Homer Simpson going into the Hall of Fame and all that. So,
well, there you go. I think based on what Spore just said in chat, you may have some more, a little bit more gasoline in your engine there to get that Tony Suck.
Well, that's really what this is all about,
Speaking of sucking up to OOTP, they love The Simpsons. Mr. Devil Dog was the quickest to ring in correctly. Fizz A, V. Trudell, and Ian M. Leavitt. Okay, next up.
All right. Now, Suck, when he first started out, Suck played for the 1883 Buffalo Bisons, whose roster included how many Hall of Famers? Oh, you got your... I see how this is.
Told you there was foreshadowing. Buffalo Bisons.
There you go.
Was it 1, 2, 3, or 4? How many Hall of Famers on that Tony Suck team? And probably most of them were because of Tony Suck. He probably made them better players.
Because he was such a good catcher. He made, all of the pitchers,
Were any of them pitchers?
In fact, one of them was.
Well, there you go. I hope he got to attend the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Yeah.
6 people rang in correctly on that one, including number 1. Oh, we have a new contestant. Contestant 57. Please link your username to the game on the right-hand side. Look for that little quiz kit icon. Click it and allow permissions so we can see who you are. Spore was number 2 and V. Trudell number 3.
Yeah, as Snailman said, I'm guessing the not many of these players ended up getting to the ceremony, but speaking of those,
screen there. Do you have him on the screen? All those his teammates. Can you bring up that team?
Let's actually wait because we got another question about that.
Okay.
So of those, which of these 1883 Bisons is not a Hall of Famer?
So who is not in the Hall of Fame? Is it Pud Galvin, Deacon White, Dan Bruthers, or Orator Schaefer? That's a great question because all of them you would think would be in there. I can't believe they all played with Tony Suck.
They all played with Tony Suck on that team. That's right. They all played with Tony Suck.
Wow. I can't believe it's taken 45 episodes for you to come up with a Tony Suck trivia question set. Jeez. Saving the best till the last.
Exactly.
Okay, answers are in. And you didn't fool many people here.
Well done. And the other one on that team who's also a Hall of Famer is the Jim O'Rourke we drafted.
Oh, really?
So,
well, he did suck in our tournament, so
he did.
Okay, one more question, and then we're going to look at the bounty, see if Mr. Devil Dog's still around.
All right. Well, with all of that talent, in an 8-team league, where did the Bisons actually finish in 1883 with those 4 Hall of Famers and Orator Schaefer and Tony Suck? Where'd they actually finish?
All right. Were they 1st, 2nd, 5th, or 7th in the 8-team National League? See, Snail Man's in the contest now. He got the 1st place on that last question. So we got some new blood, new competition.
I feel like Snail Man would do pretty well on Tony Suck trivia, actually.
What are you insinuating, Charles?
Yeah,
what are you
saying?
saying?
A lot about Deadball, you know. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I got your back, Snail Man. I got your back. I'll keep an eye on him. No bad mouthing, Snail Man, Charles. Come on. All right, answers are in. 10 people got this one right.
Nobody thought Tony Suck won the title, huh?
Like, can we bring up the team now?
Sure, now I can bring up the team. You can take a look at.
Show it on your screen there.
There was a lot of talent.
Best part of these teams are the player pictures. We showed some of them before. Ooh, they look like courtroom sketch artist photos. They're just outstanding. So lifelike and realistic.
I don't think I see it. Are you bringing it up or?
You're not sharing your screen.
Oh, I thought you were. I'm sorry. I thought you were bringing it up. That's why.
No, you bring it up.
All right. Let me see if I can find it.
I got a quiz thing to run here. Dogberry was the quickest to answer correctly. And then Ian, PD, Fussmucker, and Chess Safari. A lot of people got that one right.
See, I told you we got easy ones this week. And you know why we have easy ones this week is because everyone is such a fan of Tony Suck that they're just experts.
No, it's because you talk about him every week. That's why they're experts. It's like repetition, right? When you're in school,
well, they didn't do this well on the Dave Steve trivia.
Because I don't care about Dave Steve. Only Spore and I care about Dave Steve. I can't teach people good taste, Charles. I just can't. It's innate.
Yeah, I got some of these pictures up if you want to.
Okay. Oh, I recognize that guy from Perfect Team. He's got a few cards there over on the right-hand side. Second from the end there, right beside Tony.
Oh, him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Orion Kirkering. It's a guy that's so embarrassed that he's beside Tony Suck that he's not willing to put his photo.
Trying to figure out. So this Jim O'Rourke, I thought he had a pipe, but that's actually just the mustache.
You thought that was a pipe?
I thought there was.
What's in your pipe, Charles? Bring up his picture there. Click on him.
No, it's just a.
Oh, that is not a pipe. Although his other picture looks kind of interesting too.
Yep.
So
yeah, look at the talent. Look at all the talent on this team and Tony Suck.
Ooh. That's a pretty good team, you know. Doc Kennedy has a card. Curly Foley has a Foley has a card in the game. Yeah, we need a 19. What year is this? 1980 or
1883. Yep, we need an 1883 Buffalo mission. You know. And
where is the 1883 packs?
The topper. You see.
Yeah, there you go. Rich Grisham put out the 1883 exclusive packs, and they will. Charles will buy them. He'll sell them out. Trust me. Charles will buy every single pack out there. He'll get the money flowing, and he'll buy everything.
There you go.
Okay, which guy is Dan Bruthers there? Is he the first guy? Oh,
hold on. Sorry, I hit the. Bruthers was the second one. I'll try it back up again. Try that again. Bruthers is the one that didn't even have the hat. Yeah.
Oh, which guy is okay, point out the 4 Hall of Famers there.
All right, we got Pud Galvin.
Okay.
Oh, it's probably the first few because the ones that had all the war, right? There you go. Dan Bruthers, Jim O'Rourke, and then Deacon White. So this must have been right at the end of Deacon. Yeah, this was right at the end of Deacon White's career. No, actually, okay, he played till he was 42. I didn't realize that.
Well, so this is the team that finished 7th out of 8 or 5th out of 8.
5th out of 8. Yeah, it was not.
Okay. We got to look at the winning roster because with Bruthers and O'Rourke, and I got to see who's on the winning roster.
Here you go. So here were the stand. Okay, so they were over 500 even though they were 5th. But the winning roster, of course, is Boston because it's got to be Boston. Let me see who we got. Actually, not as much in the way of like the Hall of Famers, right? But
I don't see any Hall of Famers there.
Got a few players that have some cards in perfect team though. We got John Morrill always has a good card. There's a Sam Weiss. I think is there a Horning? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I think there is. Yeah. Okay, and take a look at the last place team. Who, ironically, is in Philadelphia. So apropos.
Philadelphia. Blondie Purcell, I think okay, they got Bob Ferguson, but I guess it was a 38-year-old Bob Ferguson. So late in his career.
Jack Manning, Fred Warner. So they have a few guys in perfect team there.
Yeah.
What do the pictures look like, Charles, for a last place team? Any memorable pictures at the top there for Philadelphia?
Let me see. Well, I like this picture. This guy was so proud to be in Philadelphia that his picture says Boston.
And we got Orion Kirkering. He played for a couple teams there. Way to go. That must have been after they traded for him. Woo. All right. And then the guy next to Orion, he looks like he's, in the Sherlock Holmes movie or something like that.
Bill McClellan. Let's see. Emil Gross, 1.7 WAR, led the team. That's not such a good sign.
Yeah.
John Kelly does not look like a baseball player with that hat.
No, he looks like a manager, like a owner or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. They got Piggy Ward on that team.
Oh, Piggy's there. Last place team, Piggy Ward.
A 16-year-old Piggy Ward.
16.
16-year-old Piggy Ward, and then he was out of the league for 6 years before coming back and trying again.
Wow. And he had one game. He went 0 for 5. 2 strikeouts.
And it was just like that. That's it. You know, I'm going to go home for 6 years and, you know, train up.
If Piggy Ward can get a card with those stats, Tony Suck.
Tony Suck can get a card. That's
absolutely right. Meta bronze Tony Suck. All right, we're gonna resume trivia right after the break. That was a nice little break from the trivia there, Charles. We'll be back in 2 minutes' time and finish off and find out who our best Tony Suck fan is. See you in 2 minutes.
Let's do it.
All right, we're back, and again, big shout out to WAZT for the follow. Malevolence 2213. Thank you for the follow during the stream, and Ezra Denny, our favorite after dark streamer. Thank you, Ezra. 10 months now, you're in double digits, and the only affiliate who has a laptop hound emote. Thank you so much, Ezra. I hope it gets a lot of use. I blame the Oilers for that one there. All right, Charles, we got some trivia to do, but before that, let's do 2 more cards here and educate the masses. And now this card, I'm glad we finally got this one in the game. It took a while, understandable, but we have another Blue Jay in the game and a guy that really improved the team down the stretch, really played well, and that was Davis Schneider. Love Davis Schneider. Yeah. I know you love the eye.
I was going to say, you know what I'm going to say? I'm just going to look at that eye and say, just to grab the card, right? I mean,
is it enough?
Oh yeah, look at that eye.
Okay, we can move on then. Go get yourself
just look at the eye. I think I might run him at third instead of second. I don't think the glove's quite as good at second. But with that eye, I'm definitely running him somewhere.
Spora, can you see the sparkles in Charles's eye? This has got to be the highest? Is this the highest eye for a silver player?
Lance Blankenship maybe is a little higher, but I'm also going to run Blankenship. So
there you go.
No, I think this card's a bit better than Blankenship. Bleffery's up there. So there are a few that are up there, but this is definitely one that with the third base eligibility, I am going to try to run.
Again, kind of like
go ahead.
I was just going to say, in terms of versatility, kind of like, his name escapes me. Who's the utility guy on Toronto now?
I don't think he's as versatile as he looks, because the problem is if you get the versatility from playing things like first base or left field, that's just not as useful because the bat's kind of usually not big enough to play there.
Right.
So I think it's more that the versatility is he's a third baseman where you're willing to let him back up second base because the glove is sort of okay for a backup to save a roster spot. But he's really a third baseman that can play a bit of second. I don't think you ever want him to see time at first or in left.
Yeah. I was thinking like a Biggio, Merrifield, Brock Holt kind of guy that can play a lot of different positions. So Charles is on board with Davis Schneider.
Definitely.
Go get yourself a Davis Schneider for your silver team. Next up.
And Holt's the same thing, right? Where Holt, he plays a lot of positions, but realistically, you want him to play kind of these, the more premium defensive positions if you can get away with it.
So earlier you talked about the 80 catcher, and you said prior to this week he would have been a cap card for sure. Well, let's look at an 80 pitcher now that's come along, free in a cap situation. You're adding him, right? He's a free card.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is better than the other 80s that we had as options, and there are at least a couple of caps where you've got a gold floor. So this becomes a card you're kind of always playing in those. Even more generally, though, I think in low gold, I do have this as the 5th best starter.
Nice.
This is just one of the more balanced. This is kind of one of the more balanced cards where it's not just stuff, but you kind of have other things on the card. I'd like him even more if the splits weren't as big. So my guess is my model tends to punish cards for having these splits, because I assume that if you get later in a tournament, if I'm starting a lefty, he's going to see a lot of righties. And some of the other models that are out there that are a little more data driven just kind of say, well, you have to win the early rounds of tournaments too. And in the early rounds of tournaments, you don't see as many people platooning, and he actually is going to get to face lefties. And if he gets to face lefties, he's even better. So I've got him as around the 5th best starter in low gold, which means you are going to play him anyway, and you'll definitely play him for free in a cap. But my guess is that, like when we stream and I ask is Adolfo and Kidneys, my guess is that they're going to rate him a little bit higher than I do, because they're going to think he sees more lefties than I do.
Does the stamina concern you?
Yeah, but this is actually not bad stamina compared with some of the other cards that are up there. Like if you look at the other low gold lefties, it's cards like Trevor Rogers and James Paxton that you're seeing a lot of, and they have 59 stamina. So this is actually going to get you an extra inning over those two cards.
Well done.
We're also seeing some Tyler Wells still. He's got 57 stamina. Woodruff has 61. So
Ryu.
This is actually more just a concern in low gold, where most of the low gold starters are low stamina and you have to run a deep bullpen. But compared with the other low gold options, this is actually not that low.
Yeah. And I mean, you rattled off a bunch of the low gold bullpen options, and there's a lot of them. So you can really stack up your bullpen and not be too worried about it.
You definitely have to stack the bullpen. But I think if you're really going to run kind of 5 starters with low stamina, you might even consider whether you need to run a 13th pitcher in low gold right now.
Yeah. Okay, back to the Cubs. Some more love for the Chicago Cubs, getting some love today with the Future Legends. Now, again, it's low gold, which is going to help this card. It doesn't have the power and eye that you like. Third baseman, though, where defense may not. So maybe, is this a card, again, that Adolfo might value higher than you do, or do you value this one a lot too?
Oh, I think he'd value it. He definitely would value it more than I do, because he doesn't care as much about the third base defense. Even though he's eligible at second, just really, you know, with that 65 range, you can't really let this card play second, I think. I think you can only look at him at third. But then the problem is, even if you're just going to put sort of a big bat at third, there are some enormous bats available at third right now where the glove is also even as good. So for example, there's a tournament edition Justin Turner. If you're looking at this card, let's say just versus lefties, you know, that's probably his stronger side. Look at a card like Justin Turner, and what you actually can pull it up, and then you can actually look at a card like Justin Turner.
Paint the picture for us,
instead of
Charles.
just saying look at a card like Justin Turner, we can actually look at a card like Justin Turner and basically look at the bat that you're getting against lefties. So I think the problem is that even if you just want to run him as a third baseman and you're just sort of looking to run these bats, I think there are bats that maybe I'd rather run. Or, you know, another example, you know, this Judy Johnson, again, you're sort of getting more of the other things on the bat in return for a little bit less BABIP.
Yeah.
So I think I'm probably just not going to play this one because even if you're playing a bat at third, I just think I can find a bigger bat.
Okay, one more and then back to trivia. This one I'm curious about because we see some really good power, but he's missing the eye. Whereas we saw a card with the Blue Jay Schneider that was eye and no power. This is the opposite of that.
Yeah, and I think the problem is I just don't think this one's going to get on base enough to kind of justify putting him in the lineup. The one thing that would give me, you know, would at least want to make me take a look at him normally is he's a pretty good defensive right fielder. But the thing is, we've had a bunch of excellent defensive right fielders come out recently that still have bigger bats. So for example, let's say that you just want an excellent defensive right fielder that, you know, hits righties and has a lot of power. Well, we just had not this Reggie. We just had this Reggie Jackson come out, where you're getting an excellent defensive right fielder who's going to hit for, you know, even more power.
True enough.
So then I think I would just rather play Reggie if that's the plan. Yes, this is, you know, this is a better left fielder than Reggie if you need it, but actually there are plenty of other left field options. So I think I'd rather just play Reggie and right. You know, it's a bigger bat.
And one more gold, since there's only one more gold, let's finish off the gold. Your team, the Boston Red Sox. There's a bunch of Boston Red Sox fans out there. I think Chess Safari is a fan of the Red Sox. There are many Red Sox fans, let's face it. Grandal, again, has been one of the catchers that some people still use Ford, some use Grandal. I don't know if there's another one that's come out recently. Look at that eye, Charles, and look at that catcher ability. For a gold guy, does he replace Grandal? I can't remember what Grandal looked like.
So he's got 93 catcher ability and clobbers righties, but more generally just has a really big bat. And what you get in Grandal is you get 100 catcher ability and you get a big eye, but there's not as much in the rest of the bat. So I think this is going to be one of those choices where you're deciding between kind of having the bigger bat and having the better glove. And depending on kind of your model for catcher ability, because this is one of these things where the stats the game gives us are actually not very good for evaluating catcher ability. So everyone's kind of got their own secret sauce and trying to figure out, are the extra 7 points of catcher ability from Grandal worth the difference in the bat?
Can you throw up Wilkins and take a look at Wilkins up there?
Sure. Okay. So Rick, yeah, and then that's the other one to look at. Sure. So Rick Wilkins, now he has even 103 catcher ability, and the bat's better versus righties than lefties here. So you kind of have all three of these options. I think probably what I'm going to want to do is I'm probably going to want to try Keel versus righties and Grandal versus lefties. That's my guess. But I think you could argue for all three of these depending on kind of where you value catcherability. And then if you come down on the side of like really not being interested in catcherability, then there are some other bats that you could put in there. You could still run Schwarber or Harry Ford if you're really not worried about catcherability and just kind of want to get some big bats that can play multiple positions.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too, is a platoon between Teal and Grandal. It seemed like they'd be a perfect fit. And again, you're sacrificing when you take Wilkins, but you're getting more power, more catcher ability. But I think I would try Teal over Wilkins right now. But like you said, it's personal preference, right?
Yeah, I think this is one where, because the game engine, basically OOTP doesn't quite give us the stats to really be able to tell the difference. Everyone's kind of making their own decision based on kind of what they're seeing about how important catcherability is. I think what is clear is that, kind of ranking those three catchers, the bat from best to worst is going to be Teal, then Grandal, then Wilkins. And the glove is going to be Wilkins, then Grandal, then Teal.
Yeah.
And so kind of where you fall on catcherability is going to decide what you want to do.
Right. And Grandal wins out even though he's second in both because he's better against the lefties.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, what about, does Teal get an edge because he can play the outfield? And I mean, he's not horrible, but he has that. Does any kind of versatility give him even more of an edge over Wilkins?
I don't think it does, because the problem is that as much as what you have in Teal's bat is a really good bat for a catcher, but not a good bat for a corner outfielder. So whoever your backup corner outfielder is, it's still likely to be a better bat than Teal.
Good. Okay. Excellent. So we'll go through a few of the diamonds and then we'll take a look at Strasburg and kind of where he fits into the meta. And then Charles and I will end off the show with our pack ripping, our baseball game that we do 9 innings, 9 packs, where the loser buys a spotlight pack. This week, 18,000 points. Okay, let's bring back the trivia screen. So those of you participating in trivia, get ready. Next question's about to come. And I think it's question number, what are you on? Question number 8, 7?
I think 7. I think we're up to 7. All right. So shockingly enough, we're still talking about Tony Suck. No. Speaking of those Buffalo Bisons, which of Suck's teammates, which of these teammates from that year also has a card in PT24?
A PT24 card. Was it Davey Force, Doc Kennedy, Dave Egler, or Hardy Richardson? Which of those names sounds the most familiar?
Yep. I'm going to pull up the card.
All right, answers are in. And it is one that most people got correct. It is one Mr. Doc Kennedy.
All right.
That one I would have got. I remember that's a name that stands out.
Yeah, if you remember the card, that's the way.
Yeah. Yeah. So who was the quickest to ring in there? It was Jay Spy, Cedar Wrights, and then Don't Cut the D Block Dragon, 3 quickest to ring in. After 7 questions, we have Ian, number 1 with 84,000 points. Cedar Wrights and Fussmucker, 2nd and 3rd. And the race to the bottom currently goes to Jerexis, whichever way. Jay, minus 107,000, but Dark Horse is putting in a run for last place. 39 entrants. Good to see, guys. 39 of you enjoy the Tony Suck. Question 8.
All right. See, again, look at all these big scores. Everybody loves Tony Suck. And actually, speaking of Buffalo Bisons, so there's a modern team, the Buffalo Bisons as well, which is currently affiliated with what major league franchise?
The Twins, the Tigers, the Blue Jays, or the Guardians? Easy peasy.
I'm guessing you would have got this one right.
Yeah. Well, why do you think I got the combo? There. See? It's a different sport for the jersey, but close enough. We got Spore Shirtsy, or was it Jertsy or Shirtsy G? All right, Blue Jays, 16 of you were able to get that one right. 2 went for Twins, 2 for the Guardians, and the quickest to ring in was a Canadian. Cavacom got that one right off the bat with over 19,000. Mr. Devil Dog, another Canadian. Dogberry, not a Canadian, number 3. So the Canadians cleaned up on that one. Question 9.
All right. So after being in Buffalo in 1884, Suck moved to what league, which Bill James claimed wouldn't properly be included even in an encyclopedia of the good miners?
So he truly did suck to go to this league.
He did.
Federal, American, Union, or Players? Which one of those 4 leagues or associations did Tony Suck go to? See, that's why they can't make a card, Charles, because OOTP doesn't have the rights to this league. It's not good enough for an encyclopedia. It's not good enough for OOTP.
No, because it is officially considered a major league. So
by you and Tony Suck.
By Major League Baseball.
Where's the receipts? Isn't that what the young kids say? Where are the receipts, Charles? Fire and Ore got that one right. Fussmucker, Dogberry, and Ian. That should hang on to the lead there for Ian. And currently Ian has 117,000. Fussmucker, the little engine that could. Fuss, you're chugging away there, trying to catch up. Cedarites and Fizze still in the race as well. And at the bottom, it is still Dark Horse and Jerxes J.
Jerxes, he said. That's what he said.
Jerxes. Yeah. Okay. Before you go to the next one, let's check in.
As
on
in
the
rhymes with Xerxes.
Okay. We're going to check on the dead ball, see if Devil Dog is still eliminating people with his non-compliant team. Let's go find that out. Here we go. We are in the
clearly the non-compliant team. That one player is the only reason that we didn't win, right?
Yeah, I mean, look how we would have made the semifinals.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the Devil Dogs got eliminated. So our bounty claim has been made. The bounty has been claimed, folks. It is Sean Soul 10 who has defeated the Devil Dogs. We got to check Sean's team now.
Oh boy.
Suiji, if you're still here, you got to do a third set of eyes here. Okay.
Make sure we don't have any more even cards on it.
Okay. Looks good, right, Charles? Right?
I think so. We better. Looks good to me.
Okay.
I'm no mathematician.
No. Math isn't your strong suit.
Looking pretty good. Think we made it.
Kevin Fussmucker were like, oh, come on. Make there be one even card because we're on the other side of the bracket. No. Kevin Fussmucker, you guys are playing for in-game packs. Congratulations, Sean, on making the finals and claiming today's bounty. I think that's the first bounty you've claimed in a very long time. So congratulations on getting there. And thanks, Devil Dogs, for being a sport and continuing on and being the bounty while we got knocked out. I'm curious because Tesuiji lost out in 3 to Sean. How close was that one? It was 7-3, 8-2, and then game 3 was 2-0. So yeah, fairly close. Okay, good. Continue on, final 3. All right, Charles, fire away.
All right, next question. So, in 1884 in the Union Association, which of these stats did Tony Suck have the most of?
Errors at shortstop, errors at catcher, hits, or passed balls, which was the highest number for Tony Suck in 1884. I wonder how many people have Baseball Reference open up now on a second screen. You know who's probably would rock this?
Clearly, you're supposed to have Fangraphs open instead.
You know who would rock this because he has to listen to you more than I do? Is Adolfo.
That's true.
He would be a Tony Suck expert.
By the way, I have to mention that even with all these defensive stats, Fangraphs says that Tony Suck actually had positive defensive value in 1884. Not sure I quite believe that, but
PT Elite card for sure now.
Oh, hold on. Is there an ad break that chat's saying there's an ad break?
Okay. We will wait. Yeah, the ad kicked in about 30 seconds ago. So see, everyone just wants their Tony Suck trivia.
That timing sucked.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, that was the question I forgot to add. All right. You know what I can do for our
if we need a tiebreaker.
They're still around. Okay, for the people that are still around, we can give them the the bonus Tony Suck question that I forgot to ask. we can do it that way.
Okay.
Or should we wait for the
Yeah, we'll wait for the ad break to come up here. We got about 30 seconds. So while we're waiting for an ad break, do one card here quick. Right. Noble Meyer, Oscar Meyer. Good control, good pitcher, Babbitt, decent stuff. Now we're into diamond, though, into low diamond. Where does he fit in amongst the low diamond pitchers as a righty?
Yes, there's also kind of a funny shape, because most of these future legends, just because the way we evaluate prospects are kind of big strikeout guys, and this is not a big strikeout guy. The thing is, I think there just isn't enough on the card that if you compare this with some of the PT Elite cards, like for example, here I can pull one up. Or the game can crash on me and then I can pull it up.
Use your imagination, folks. On screen right now, you see Charles.
On screen right now, you would see Jordan Montgomery. And if you were able to see Jordan Montgomery on screen, what you would see.
Or Steele.
Yeah, so for example, here's a card that has a similar kind of shape. If I can get this to pull up without crashing.
Charles, we would go probably 5 for this, right? Maybe 4, but 5?
1965, I think 5. Yeah, I think I would try 5.
I would go 5. Anything after 1960, I would go 5.
But on the other hand, you've just seen the way we draft, so
Yeah. Grain of salt.
But yeah, if you compare him with a card like this Jordan Montgomery, who's also, more of a control and P. Babbitt heavy card, there's just a lot more with Montgomery.
Fair enough. And Cavacom has said that the bounty finals have been set. The fact that Cava put that in the chat makes me want to think that maybe Cava made the final. Let me check. Let me just do a quick little check here. It is the
That
launch
sounds like a good
pads.
guess.
Launch pads and the Washington Park Rangers. I won't bring it up on the screen here, but the launch pads won 7-4 in the pivotal game number 3. Okay, let's go back to the trivia. Let's finish that off here.
All right. What do we got next here? All right. So in 1884, Suck was playing for the Chicago Browns, which also kind of sucked and actually folded mid-season and were replaced by what team?
The Chicago Browns became the Pittsburgh Burgers, the Pittsburgh Rebels, the Pittsburgh Crawfords, or the Pittsburgh Stogies. Are all 4 of these real names?
They are actually, all 4 of these are real names, yeah. But not all major league teams.
All right, answers are in, and 5 people were able to get this one.
So the Crawfords were the Negro League team that played for. Actually, I think we have a few Pittsburgh Crawfords cards in the game. Now that I think about it, I think we've got a few. There's definitely a Satchel Paige from them, but I think there are a few others. Yeah, there's a cool Papa Bell from that team. Chester Williams. Yeah, Sam Bankhead, Double Duty Radcliffe. So we got a few Crawfords in the game, but no Tony Suck.
All right, Dogberry was the quickest to ring in there. And again, Ian still in first place with about a almost 40,000 point lead. And at the bottom, it is still, oh no, it is Rob Deere and Headlights that has now claimed the bottom. All right, so Rob Deere is 42nd. And I know he's doing that just to honor Jackie Robinson. Way to go. Way to go. Upstanding young man to honor Jackie Robinson as number 42. All right,
Yep.
Charles.
All right. So speaking of that Union Association, what 1884 Union Association rookie, but better known for his time in the American Association National League, was nicknamed for the job he held in the offseason?
Live Oak Taylor, Pretzels Geitzing, Icebox Chamberlain, or Oyster Burns. So was he a lumberjack? Was he a baker? Was he a refrigerator repairman? Or was he working in the fishing industry? Or maybe a cabinet maker? Or a street vendor? Okay, tell us the story here, Charles.
Well, so all 4 of those are, wow, nobody went with Oyster Burns. Huh.
Nope.
Well,
You
that
burned him, Charles.
That definitely means that Snailman's not in the chat. Because I bet he will have some good Oyster Burns stories. But yeah, Oyster Burns was, basically I guess fishmonger is the term, right? Is it still a fishmonger if it's oysters, or do you get a different? But yeah, he sold shellfish in the off season, and so he got nicknamed Oyster.
Could be worse. Could be called shrimp.
It's true. And actually, Oyster Burn, there are a lot of good Oyster Burn stories, or at least bad Oyster Burn stories. But we'll give you the next question about him, because he was actually known as one of the worst teammates in the history of the game, including, well, which of these 4 things did Oyster Burns do?
Ooh, it's got to be pretty bad. Did he get into a bar brawl? Did he quit the team? Did he knock the starting pitcher unconscious? Or did he stab a teammate?
Between games of a doubleheader, he did one of these.
Did he play the second game?
I don't know. I think so.
I wonder if they played the game. Like they would have called it off today, but back then it's like, put a Band-Aid on it and we'll get back on the field there, Oyster. Come on.
Yep.
It's just a little scrape.
Yep.
Now, he didn't get traded. That would have been a good one. He got traded in between the doubleheader
That would have been good.
to the other team.
He did, and chat knew this one. He did, in fact, stab a teammate between games of a doubleheader.
And did the teammate live?
Teammate lived, but was out for several weeks. Apparently, the teammate was like sleeping in center field between games of the doubleheader, and he just thought it would be fun to go, wake him up by stabbing him.
What? Do we have an Oyster Burns card in the game?
There was an Oyster Burns. I think it was an LE. Was it last season? Let me see if I can find exactly the story here.
Do not put those cards
Tom
on the
Daly
same team.
was. Yep. Yeah, Tom Daly was sleeping in center field between games of a doubleheader. Burns stabbed him with a knife, severed a tendon. He was out for, however long you're out when someone severs your tendon with a penknife.
What possesses a guy? It's not like during the game. It's like in between. You're taking a little snooze. He goes over and stabs him. Like there's got to be something more to the story, like involving their wives or something like that, because it doesn't make sense.
I'm just telling you what I found. I think this is definitely one to ask Snailman. He might know more about the story. Were they both in the exclusive set? I think, yeah, that's right. There is an Oyster Burns in.
Oh, both of them are. Okay. Do not put them on the same team, folks. It will not turn out well. It will not turn out.
Or at least if you do no double headers.
Yeah, no double headers. Trade one of them for Tony Suck.
Chess Safari, I don't know if he had a wife, but he did play for a team called the Newark Domestics.
And on that note, next question.
We did the best we could. Yeah, there is an exclusive Oyster Burns. Yeah. All right.
Is it black and white or is it shaded red?
What, Oyster Burns?
Yeah. They should have like bars in front of him, like he's in prison.
It really should.
Okay, next up.
All right. So after he failed in the Union Association, Suck actually then went and played in which of these minor leagues before eventually retiring?
You know way too much about this guy. Like just way, like it's become an obsession now, Charles. We need an intervention, chat. Anyone know a good psychologist? Because he just knows.
I just got to point out, okay, this has been the best scoring trivia we've had in a long time because people are that excited about Tony Suck.
I'm sure that's the case. All right. Well, he's going to be the most popular card if and when he does come out. Like I said, unfortunately, you're only allowed 10 of one card, Charles. So start getting those alts. Okay.
Exactly, Capcom. You can't tell the story of MLB without Tony Suck.
I mean, if he made The Simpsons, he's got to be good.
Yep.
All right. Question 14. We got 2 more to go. And the scoreboard right now, Ian is still number 1. Fizz-A is still giving it a shot there. Dogberry and Fussmucker in the 70s. And then at the bottom, speaking of the biggest Tony Suck fan, it is not Rob Deer in Headlights because he is way, if you dig 10 feet down, keep digging. And then when you hit water, keep digging some more. That's where Rob Deer in Headlight is with Tony Suck.
And he even got the first question right.
Which is amazing. We could have a new high score here, minus 212,000 so far. You'll probably get the Dave Steeb question right, though. So careful, Rob. Careful.
There you go.
Okay, number 15.
All right. One more Tony Suck question, just because. So he did have a career 151 average in the major leagues. What was his career average in the minor leagues?
Is this the one where 0.069 is the actual answer? At some point,
I'm telling you, one of these weeks, I'm going to sneak it in.
Yeah. 211, 151, 120, or 69 for the average. 151 in the majors. He goes to the minors. Is it going to be synchronicity? It's going to be the exact same. Is it going to be better? Is it going to be worse?
Well, you'd think you do a little better in the minors because they're easier, right? But
not if you're playing with Oyster Burns. One eye's always looking over your shoulder.
That's true.
That's where you need good eye, Charles. When you play on a team with Oyster Burns. Chess Safari and Ian were the only two to get that one right. He's a bad batter, Charles.
He you know, but I just want to point out, according to Fangraphs, he has positive defensive value as a catcher. So you could totally make this like the next Jeff Mathis. He even walks a little bit. He just doesn't hit, you know.
He might be meta for like 7 hours when he comes out.
Yeah,
I mean, he just might.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just waiting for the 100 overall Tony Suck. We can do this, right, chat?
He'll come out in the beta version, and then when the real game comes out, he's gone. That's how quick he's going to last in the meta. Last question, guys. Here it is. This is a question I came up with. We got to always end with a little bit of Canadian love, and we're going into it. Ian, your computer needs to break for you to lose, so you've got it locked up for first. And Rob Deer in Headlights, you're not out of the woods yet. You still can lose this. So you have what's that work out to? About an 18,000 point lead. So if Jerixus, I forget what it is, gets this right real quick, and you get it wrong, it's game over, Rob. It's game over. Here we go. Which year did Dave Steeb suck the most in the 1980s with his highest ERA? 84, 86, 87, or 89?
You know, you still don't have that Dave Steeb Iron card.
And it was as a Blue Jay. One of these 4 years as a Blue Jay, did he suck? How's that for fitting your theme there, Charles?
Absolutely.
And no Rob Deer in Headlights. All of the above is not a choice. Sorry. Here we go. It was 1986, the only year in Toronto where he didn't have a 500 or better winning record. And I believe his ERA was like 4.5 or 4.6, somewhere in that range. So congratulations. We have our two winners. Ian, I know I've probably given you packs before, but if you could please whisper me and let me know what your perfect team username is. Congratulations on taking first place. And
I think that's a new record, isn't it? I don't think we've seen a higher one, at least.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Same with the bottom score. With Rob Deer in Headlights, that's got to be close to a new record too. Still honoring Jackie Robinson with his negative 242,000 score. Rob, well done, my friend. As GT Sundown mentioned, maybe you are a closet Tony Suck fan and you knew which ones were wrong, so that's why you won. Congratulations. I do know your account name there, Rob Deer in Headlights, so you don't need to whisper me. Well, that was fun, Charles. That was good.
Well, and if anyone's wondering what clearly you're learning from all this is that as it was said in chat, you can't tell the story of baseball without Tony Suck.
No, what he's really saying is please petition Sport to make a Tony Suck card. That's what he's really saying.
That's right. If only we had community submitted cards.
Yeah. I didn't send yours off, Charles.
You know anyone that a guy who knows a guy?
I thought that was a mistake on your account, so I didn't include that one. Okay.
Exactly,
let's look at the final 3 cards that were shown on screen today, and then we're going to do our pack opening, and then we're going to head over to Dr. Dynastic. So Dr. Dynastic, if you are around, we will be there no later than 15 past the hour, so in about 20 minutes time. Well, let's go back to the Red Sox, because this I think you're going to find as an interesting card. Low diamond. He's got power. He's got eyes. Pretty well balanced, and he's a corner outfielder. I don't know what the meta is for low diamond right now. Does he have a spot?
It's funny because when I first looked at the card, I just figured that kind of the low diamond corner outfielders have such big bats right now. It was going to be hard to find a place for him to play. But then when I kind of looked at it combined with the defense, at least the model I've got does just want to play him in either corner. So, in fact, I think this might be the first card that I finally prefer playing over the limited edition Reggie Jackson, who's actually kind of been playing, right field and low diamond for a long time now.
High five, Charles. We found a card that's going to replace. Careful. Going to replace Reggie Jackson. Wow, you're still using.
We're not supposed to mention that one.
What, Reggie Jackson?
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a high five. Just being friendly here. All right. So you're a big fan, and it's not just because it's a Red Sox.
Yep.
Cool.
He's a little splitty, but so are a lot of the outfielders right now in low diamond.
And remember, low diamond, when we had the invitational, low diamond was where Isadolfo took McCovey first round because of the lack of good power eye low diamond players, and it worked out for him. So maybe we're still seeing a weakness for some of those players in low diamond. Dodgers. Oh, do we have to talk about the Dodgers? They get so much talk.
Just give them an F- and move on.
Put them on a plane to Toronto. Okay. Steven Strasburg. No, we'll talk about this card here. 98 starting pitcher. I mean, when we got Oral Hershiser, who some people still play. Some people still play.
All right, fine. The card's good. It's a Dodger. It's good. You should play him.
Okay. Top 5 righties.
Yeah, I think so. I think I've got him around second right now. There's still kind of a big clump of pretty similar full diamond starters. So I don't think he's far enough above the clump that you have to rush out and get him. But I do think he's at the top end of it. And so if you've got him available, you'll play him for sure. I don't know if he's going to be expensive, right? He might be expensive just because of the mission structure. I'm still kind of trying to figure out, because you actually need a lot of the new cards for the Strasburg. So you're kind of going to be spending quite a bit if you want to get him right now. And it's a little tough to predict whether, people are going to try to finish these missions right now or just wait a while.
Yeah. So there you go. The Dodgers once again get a high-end player. If he was a perfect card, if he was 100, he's outmatched, right? If it's 100.
Yeah, I think it's his full diamond that he's interesting. How is it that the Dodgers, keep drafting late and, signing players, they're getting whatever penalties, and they still just keep coming up with all these prospects?
Questions for the universe to ponder. One more,
Yep.
And again, now we are talking about a perfect pitcher that I think you don't need to say much about him, but I don't know where he fits with all the other perfect pitchers out there.
So I'm guessing this is also one that I might actually evaluate a little bit differently than some of the other guys on stream, because this is a righty that actually you don't mind pitching against lefties. And so just as kind of I tend to punish these players that are very splitty because I think they're going to see a lot of bad platoon matchups, this is one I'm expecting is going to see some pretty good matchups. So I do have him in the top 5, but I have him pretty far behind sort of Garrett Cole and Mordecai Brown. So I think it's kind of a tricky decision now if you want to go get this card or if you want to just focus on some of the, say, tournament edition starters that just came out, like the Marichal, Whitey Ford, even Ed Morris. I think he's an upgrade over the next tier, the cards like, Gooden and Halliday and so forth. So whether it makes sense to go after this card, I think is going to depend just mainly on what the price ends up being. If this is a card where it's going to cost you 1 million points to finish the missions, I think I'd probably be inclined to skip him or at least wait a while. If this is a card that you can get for, the 300,000 points or so, that you could for some of these other starters, then I think it's probably a pretty good purchase. And it may be the answer is even in between. So for example, one of the things that I don't understand about the economics of this is that Garrett Cole costs you, I think, close to 1 million points still to finish. But then you can buy the card directly for like 300,000 or 400,000. And the only thing you get for sort of not, for finishing the missions instead of buying the cards, or you're sort of getting one extra historical rainbow pack. So it's not really enough to justify not just buying the card you want directly. So if the same thing happens where it costs 1 million points to finish Strasburg and, you can just buy him for 300,000 or 400,000 from someone else that completed the mission, I think you might be better off letting someone else do the mission and then, and then just kind of buying him. But I think so I think he's a starter that you're going to want to play if you have him available. But I do think he's also kind of in the middle of the rotation on release, so he's skippable if you're trying to save points.
Does he knock Dave Stieb out of the rotation yet?
It's tough, but yeah.
Careful how you answer that question.
I think he might.
I didn't quite catch what Charles said there. Did he say I think he might? He's like Dish. Dish had some internet connection difficulties today, and we just lost Charles. So I don't know what happened there. Let me rephrase that. Does he knock Dave Stieb out of the rotation yet?
Hey, look over there.
Not good enough, Charles. Not good enough, my friend. All right, so
not good enough. Exactly, not good enough is exactly the evaluation.
That's a good name for a baseball player. Good enough. There you go. So looks like in the 5L we've got Dr. Dynastic and Cavacom facing off. No, it's EVC's rookie team. We got EVC and Dr. Dynastic. Are they in the quarterfinals of the 5L? Wow. I saw EVC draft his team yesterday on stream too. Looked like he had some pretty decent players. I haven't seen Charles in the top 4 recently, but he's been on vacation mode. It's been in vacation mode. Charles, let's go. Thank you for
I got to remember to enter that again. That's a good point.
Thanks for looking at these cards today, and definitely we see a lot of cards with some use at all levels: silver, gold, diamond, and of course Strasburg. But we always like to end off our show with a little bit of a baseball game between Charles and myself. And
let me set up.
Load up your game there, Charles. While you're doing that, I'm going to show everyone the final results of the bounty, because the bounty, although it was claimed, we still had the finals going on, and Cava got swept 2-1 and 9-2. So Home Run Johnson I teased Sean about us having the better home run Johnson. Apparently that was not right. I was wrong again. And he had the better home run Johnson because that was his series MVP. So Sean, you got the 5 packs from claiming the bounty. You get the 3 packs. I hope you find something useful in those 8 packs from today's tournament. Excellent. Welcome. Congratulations. All right, Charles, let's go to the coin flip.
All right.
See who gets home team advantage. Let's see if I can find it here. Where are we? Somewhere here? Somewhere? No, not there. All right, there's the rules. For those of you that have not seen this before, we each open 9 packs. We alternate back and forth. And if either of us pull a perfect or LE, please, L Spalding, we get 7 points. If either of us pull any diamond, it's 5 points. 4 runs if we each get a card from today. 2 if we pull any gold. And 1 is the mystery number. So Ian, as our winner of trivia, give me a number between 40 and 99. What is that magical mystery number that if we pull that card?
Yeah, I'm thinking in honor of Tony Suck, clearly it's got to be 40.
We'll see. We're going to leave it up to Ian if he's still in the chat here.
Or that's what it is. We'll let Ian tell us what overall rating you think Tony Suck should get, and that should be the right number.
Between 40 and 41.
Maybe it's 99,
All right. I don't see anything. So if he puts in a number before we start, we'll go with that number. But otherwise, we're going to go with your 40 because Tony
Dr. Anastic says we should go with 39.
40 is close
we should
enough.
ask the real expert if Sporer is in the chat. So if hypothetically Tony Suck were to end up in the game, what sort of overall are you thinking?
Remember, defense counts quite a bit.
It's true.
Okay, well, we'll go with 40 unless I hear from Ian. Ian might have
go
left
with 40.
already. And yeah, we got to do the old coin flip here. You calling heads or tails?
Let's go heads. Let's go heads.
You know what? Sporer has a point. Free cap card. You're going to see more of him in tournaments. You got to go with the 40.
That's true.
Yeah. He could be the new, who is that? Jose Molina, that was 40. Who did we have as a 40?
Well, is there any way we can invent some splits so you can make him like a platoon, 40 overall? Hey, I just want to remind you, Fangraphs thinks that he was a positive defensive player. I don't know where Fangraphs is coming up with that because
who's that iron card that is just awful against one side or the other?
There's that Randy Johnson that just cannot bat one way.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. All right, bats and throws unknowns. Yeah, there you go. So you can.
Okay, so call it heads or tails.
We're going heads here.
You lose finally one of the coin flips, so you will go number 1. You will be the first at bat. I am at home. And I'm taking Garrett Cole as my pitcher.
I think, with the whole Tony Suck thing, I think I better go with Pud Galvin.
Hey, all right. Yeah. Pud Galvin up against Garrett Cole, and you're up first. So again,
all right, here we go.
Standard packs.
Oh, hold on. Let me do the thing where it doesn't turn the cards over, because I think if I haven't done this for a while, it's required. Okay.
You really think you're going to get at least a gold?
You never know. All right, here we go.
Inning number 1.
We suck.
You suck. No Tony Suck. Okay. Let's go over to my screen. Bottom of the first inning. Pulling on the Hound theme team here. Yeah, well, I mean, with the two pitchers we have, there's not going to be running scores in the first couple innings.
No. This is going to be
Top of the second.
all right. But we might get some 40s. No, see if we had picked 51, that would be a pretty good. Oh well.
Okay, pack number 2, bottom of the second. Ooh, we got a pitcher's duel. We go to the top of the third inning.
Yeah, we haven't even sniffed a silver here. And we still haven't.
Okay.
I got 2 hills. Does that count for anything?
Insert joke here. Let's go to the next one. Hey, we got a suck. We got a Tony suck. All right.
All right.
It is 1-0 after 3, thanks to Hannock, Emerson Hannock. We go to the top of 4.
See, if we didn't have this rule, we would just never we'd never score anything on, we'd be doing this, 15-inning games, and it's an important rule.
It would be a true Warbot stream. Yes. It'd be like, we'll be raiding over to Dr. Dynastic at 7:30
just
tonight.
As soon as one of us actually pulls a silver card.
Yeah. We'd be changing the rules. Okay. Any silver. All right. Any high bronze. Any iron. Okay. I'm up, right? Yeah, I'm up.
Yes, you're up. Bottom 4. And we got our pitchers duel going for sure.
So 8 packs and not 1 silver card yet.
Not 1 silver, but but you're up 1-0. All right, here we go. Top 5. And look at that. It is 2 bronzes at the same time. That's got to be worth, no points or something.
But it looks beautiful. Synchronotic there. Synchronotic.
I got Max Meyer. There's sort of got to be a card for him, right?
Chat, again, if I ever hear you complaining about your pack luck, here's pack number, what is this, pack number 10?
Yep. Yeah, I think that's right.
If anyone from OOTP is watching right now, please turn on any kind of pack luck. We'll take silver pack luck.
We're trying to help you sell packs here.
Yeah. I know we talk Tony Suck. We're really getting the Tony Suck of packs here. All right, top of the 6th inning.
Here we go. Wait a minute. There are 2 bronzes in this pack. But I did get a beer. Got a beer.
Come on, here we go. 1-0 in the dead ball era.
It's appropriate for the stream.
Bottom of the 6th inning, after 12 packs, neither of us have even hit a silver. And it'd be 0-0 if it wasn't for the Tony Suck rule.
Should we just call the game on account of darkness? All right,
this is pretty
7.
dark.
Here we go. Top 7. Oh, look at that. I got, not only did I get 4 bronzes, no, 3 bronzes, but I got 2 historical bronzes.
Okay, let me mark another 0 down. I'm practicing my O's. Bottom, where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Bottom of the 7.
Yeah, it's stretch time in a pitcher's duel.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to do this. Now's the time to do it.
Oh boy, yeah. Are you back out of the box? The whole yeah.
No. Do not copy me, Charles.
Oh, no, okay.
Here we go. Bottom of the 7th.
Explorer's question. You planning on stabbing someone between games?
At this rate, there is no between games.
Yeah, I was gonna say at this rate,
there's one game, and it's going forever. Hugh Nickel, a 41, but after 7 innings, it is now 1-0.
Although you could make a case that Smith Shawver should really count as a 40. I don't know why that card's not a 40. All right, top 8. Can we get anything silver? Anything? Hold on. We got a gold.
Woo!
Finally broke through. Should we flip it?
Yes.
Best thing we've seen all. It is, in fact, it is even a historical gold. That is the best thing we've seen all. We still have no silvers actually for the game, right?
That was the 15th pack, and that's our first card above bronze.
It is, yeah. So still no silvers, but we got one gold.
Well, we need a little bit of that luck there, Mortal Mago, because we are not getting anything close to Andrew Jones. Okay, bottom of 8. A gold is worth 2, right? Am I remembering?
Gold is worth 2. Yeah, that's right. So we're up 2-0.
2-1.
2-1. That's right.
Yes.
So all you need is a 40. All you need is a 40 to go tie it up.
How about 2 40s?
That would be. I think it would only be appropriate if you beat me on 40s today.
Okay, well, you've got a no-hitter going. You got a perfect game going because I haven't even got a silver. So we're going to call it a perfect game as we go to the 9th. Are you using Pud Galvin for the 9th inning?
That was still bottom 8, right? Or did you just?
Yeah, we're in the top of the 9th now.
Top of the 9th. All right. We're gonna keep going. Yeah. All right. Let's see. First off, let's get some insurance runs here. We have just gone 9 packs with no silvers. All right. I think we just got to let Pud Galvin finish, right? I mean, especially thinking about the era, you got to let Pud Galvin try to finish it. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Well,
he gave up the one unearned run, right? That's just the one unearned.
How do I go one card at a time?
Oh, very nice. Oh yeah, there you go. Card by card. That's the one Cavacom always does on stream, right?
Yes. Sorry, Cava, I'm copying you here. Down by 1, bottom of 9.
That's right. That's right, Spore. That's right. I think we figured out it was actually Pood Galvin.
Oh, Pood. Yes. Tony Souk. All right, here we go. We need 1 to tie it. Come on, gold. It's not a 40.
Slowly they're ripping open the pack. Well, it's a bronze.
Come on, 40. Do it. And it froze. No.
Oh, did it freeze on you?
Well, give it time.
Oh, the game is suspended on account of darkness.
We've got rain, folks. We've got a rain delay. I'm clicking it. I'm clicking my mouse. I'm hitting my return.
Hold on. It is an official game at this point, right?
Oh, we got action. 40.
Okay.
40. Oh! Tie game.
Edges for the tie.
All right. Are you putting is Pud Galvin staying in?
Yeah, it's another unearned run. These are unearned runs. You got to go with the guy, right?
All right. 3 more. Oh, it's an iron. It's Dale Murphy.
No damage. No damage.
Are you nervous, Charles, with 2 cards to go?
Little bit. I'm rooting for the walk-off 40, though. I think that would be most appropriate here.
How about an Orion Kirkering? Come on, Orion.
Kirkering for the win. That would do it.
Oh, it is not Orion for the win. What? It's a tie game, though. We got the tie game. We're good there. Okay, I'm going to go back to my regular.
Now, the problem is if we go into extras, this stream may never end.
It's got it. One of us has to pull a diamond or something. So we're going to go entire pack.
All right.
Instance. Just 1 sec here. Just 1 sec. Default. Okay. So top of 10.
Here we go.
2-2.
All right. Top 10. Well, I still haven't pulled a silver, so it's on you.
Here we go. Walk-off
Somebody please turn
situation.
on the streamer luck. Oh, that's a
The
good question, Dog. Oh, actually, Dogberry raised a good question. What is the pack equivalent of having, he's getting to start with the runner on second base?
That's a good question. Yeah, I'm not sure. So this is
I think we should just go with Japanese rules. If the game is still tied after 12, I think we just call it a tie.
Okay, and we both open a spotlight pack.
I like GSG's answer. Yeah, you go. Okay, I like this. We open like a silver or gold pack.
Oh, yeah. And then the high, or we just open one pack each and the highest rated card wins.
All right.
So my 44 will beat your 43. Okay, here we go. The 20th pack.
Let's just see a walk-off like historical perfect or something.
Got a silver. The no-hitter is over.
The no-hitter's over, but all right. So what are we doing? We just opening a pack, or we changing?
No. We're going to the 12th inning. This is the 11th.
Going to the 12th inning.
Of 11.
All right, 11th inning. Still alive. Here we go. Top 11.
Nothing.
Still no silver.
Bottom of the 11th inning.
This is impressive. What are the silver odds supposed to be again?
Vlad Guerrero Jr. up at the plate.
Yep.
All right, one more pack each, and then we go to the Japanese rules here.
Oh, boy. All right. Top 12. Last chance here. Top 12. Nothing.
Okay, time to walk it off.
So if anybody was thinking about buying packs right now,
yeah, probably
we've used up all the bad cards. So, it's a good time.
You ready, Charles?
Let's see it. Give me the walk-off historical perfect. Let's see it.
We got a walk-off. It is a walk-off win.
In 12 innings.
Thank you to J.P. Crawford for the walk-off. All right. Well, that was our closest
that was
game.
A heck of a pitcher's duel.
Congratulations.
We made it.
Okay. So now you got to open a perfect pack. All perfects.
I don't think I have one of those. Let me see what I got here. All right, but I have to open the spotlight, right? Is that what we?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We're getting a spotlight. Now, this spotlight pack. The good news is this spotlight pack is going to have at least one silver in it.
It will.
Absolutely, if I can find it. All right, ready?
Yep.
Normally I'd open the normal packs and get the bad ones out. We've got the bad ones out.
They're
Spotlight
out.
pack, and we've got.
You got a silver. You got a silver. Got a silver.
All right. So, and he is worth.
Charles, fun to have you back. Great to see you back, safe and sound, back in Europe. And yeah, we covered a lot today, but we got to get over to Dr. Dynastic. He's up and running. There you have it, folks. The Hawk Report, episode number 45. Congratulations to Sean Soul for winning the bounty and for winning the tournament. Congratulations to our trivia winners and losers. Congratulations to our random winner as well. That was my Mice Forever, I believe. And also to Lowly Worm, who guessed the Paul Konerko card on the pre-TWIP show. Have a wonderful weekend. Get in that EV thing there and, get into the LLLLL tournament, and let's see you rise up that leaderboard there.
Sounds good.
Last words, Charles.
Thanks for having me. And the last words, of course, clearly are Tony and suck.
We're here for a good time, not a long time. So have a good time. The sun can't shine every day. We'll see you next
Thanks
episode.
Every now and then it's gotta rain. We're here for a good time, not a long time. So have a good time. The sun can't shine every day. We're here for a good time. Not a long time. So have a good time. The sun can't shine every day. So have a good time. The sun can't shine every day.